The driver wasn't able to open her doors or the windows, and the water was coming up to her chest in the car. The dispatcher stayed on the line as first responders were called to the scene. Meanwhile, a lines crew working close by reacted quickly to help the woman. Both men jumped into the rising waters and were able to break the window to pull the woman to safety. It was only a moment later that her car was completely submerged. The police department issued a thank you on social media to highlight their bravery, stating, "We can't thank those rescuers enough. They likely saved a life today, and a family's loved one gets to come home tonight. They put themselves at risk to save a stranger who will be forever grateful." Janice Dean, Fox News.
The Supreme Court wraps up its term. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. The United States Supreme Court has now finally issued its ruling on the presidential immunity case involving former President Donald Trump. Fox Business Network's Lydia Hu has the details.
It is a divided Supreme Court that tells us presidents and former presidents are entitled to limited immunity for their official actions while held in office. This opinion was authored by Chief Justice John Roberts and joined by the conservative justices, the 3 liberal justices dissenting. The majority opinion written by John Roberts says this: the president, therefore, may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers. And going on to say he is at a minimum entitled to a presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts.
This ruling extends the delay in the criminal case against former President Trump, claiming he plotted to overthrow the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump attorney Alina Habba had some reaction on the Fox News channel about this ruling.
I've read little parts of it. Here's what I think. I think that the justices made the right decision. Nixon v. Fitzgerald outlined this. Absolute immunity is important for all presidents. I've said it time and time again. I've argued on immunity for President Trump, and I think they did get right that they recognize absolute immunity exists.
The former president telling Fox News Digital, "This is a big win for our Constitution and for democracy." We're also hearing from the Biden campaign. A senior Biden campaign advisor telling Fox, and I quote, "Today's ruling doesn't change the facts, so let's be very clear about what happened on January 6th. Donald Trump snapped after he lost the 2020 election and encouraged a mob to overthrow the results of a free and fair election." And watching Hurricane Beryl making landfall as a powerful Category 4 storm in the Caribbean after becoming the earliest storm of that strength to form in the Atlantic, fueled by record warm waters. America is listening to Fox News.
Madam Giselle senses something in your future.
Is my boyfriend going to propose?
It's a big storm.
Wait, we're going to get in a fight?
No, a literal storm. Wind, heavy wind. I see a tree falling on your RV.
Oh, that's fine. I'm covered by Progressive. So, is my boyfriend there? Maybe on one knee?
The entire roof is crushed.
So, no ring.
Be prepared for the unexpected with Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Product features subject to policy terms and may not be available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
If you had $1 million in 2009, today it would be worth less than $700,000. Thank you, big government. Hedge against runaway inflation with gold from Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. I trust Birch Gold, and you can too.
Text the word PROTECT to the number 989898 and get a free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Jimmer. And 106.3 with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire. The mechanical mangler at your controls. It's Flounder on your Monday.
Oh, the day I was born.
I think a Braves are in town still. A couple more games, I think, right?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Oh, by the way, is that tonight the home run thing? Or is that next? When's the home run? Is that? I thought it was on a Monday night. Is it next Monday?
All-Star game.
Oh, now when's the All-Star game? Is it on?
A couple weeks, I think.
I thought it was right after the 4th of July. I don't know why I thought. I'll be damned. Anyway, okie dokie. Well, we have Holy Crap, it's Pete Davis, Mountains of Macon. How was your week? We got all the newsy stuff, all the Supreme Court and Biden stuff. But first, a little get into the show as we start off in first gear. Pete Davis, weekend, Mountains of Macon.
I had one of those weird synchronicity moments yesterday. It was kind of hot, so I went down to the river and I crawled out and sat on a rock for about an hour in the middle of the river. Yeah. And these 2 kayakers came by, a man and a woman, and they got out and they started loading their stuff up. And the girl looked at the guy and said, "You got the keys?" He goes, no, you got the keys. Because you have to have 2 cars, one to drop off and one to pick up and go back to the first car.
Right.
And she goes, oh, my God, I left him on the seat. I thought you picked him up.
So I got to walk back to the other car?
So they're stranded, and they had been on for like 3 or 4 hours. They were way up the river.
My God.
They got out. So I thought they kind of went around a side there, and I thought, okay, they found their keys or whatever. But a few minutes later, I saw them; they were still there. So I got up and walked out, picked up my keys I had hidden on the side there, and I started walking up, and she's trying to get a phone call out, and I said, "Do you guys need a ride to your car?" And he goes, well, I'm kind of wet and everything. And I said, no, get in. It's no big deal. Get in. So he gets in the car. He's kind of a big guy, so he got in there. It took a second, to get in there. And we're riding up the road. Now, here's where it gets weird.
Wait, you took the guy and not the girl?
Well, she didn't know me. You don't let the girl get in a car with a guy you never know
I wouldn't
before.
have left her there in the woods by herself.
Oh, no, she's down in the woods. She's by the side of a road. There's other people there.
Oh, you got to say, well, I'll take the lady up there. I'll be back in like a day and a half.
No. I'm a Southern gentleman, and I knew that she would say no.
Plus, first error.
He was big enough to snap me in half, so no, I'm not going to do that. Right. But we're on the way back, and for some reason, he starts telling me where he works. He goes, well, I help build, stadium concert venues like for Def Leppard and everything. I go, where? He goes, Truist Park.
No kidding.
I said, you're telling me that you go down to Atlanta every now and then and work at Truist Park? He goes, yes, I work across the street.
I'll be damned.
How weird is that?
That is very bizarre. And so and now it's his girlfriend now with this young couple or outdoorsy?
I don't know if it was a daughter, girlfriend, wife. I have no idea what it was. But I took him to his house, and we had a great conversation. He said, this is the highlight of my day, riding in this car.
I'll be damned.
Well,
there you are. Excellent. Well, that sounds fantastic. Flounder, your weekend, sir, is an update on...
not that exciting.
Well, no. Who is? I mean, my God.
What did we do? We went over to my dad's on Saturday and grilled some steaks out on there, and we were going to sleep over there. And his upstairs air conditioning is out.
Oh, boy.
So we slept downstairs. I slept in the couch in the kind of the sunroom, and she slept in the living room. And
oh, my.
Yeah, it was fun. It's been a while since I slept on a couch.
Yeah. Well,
hey,
you've never been married.
It's a coming.
Yeah, when the first time she says, get off me. You got a lot of surprises out of you, my friend.
Hey, have you ever heard Bill Burr talk about when his wife told him to get on the couch?
Yeah,
I think I have that. I'll play that today. I'll find that.
Okay. Yeah, you're really punishing me there, are you? Yeah. 307. No, thanks for asking.
How do you know?
Actually.
How was your weekend, Killer?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, the wife and I woke up early and made love for a couple hours, and then, I had made a little breakfast, and then we relaxed and made love again for another couple hours, and then, went to play with the horses, hit some balls, and watched a little TV, and worked on the show, and here we are.
Worked on the show.
Well, I did. In fact, Saturday, I started working on the show because my stupid freaking cable went out again, where I had to go upstairs, unplug my thing, and unplug it back in, and so it takes like 8 or 10 minutes. So I said, what the hell? So I started doing birthdays and history stuff, and I did that for a while. Anyway, but I did actually hit balls in the heat of the afternoon, both Saturday and Sunday. Well, Saturday I did a bunch of shopping stuff for my daughter's birthday coming up here, but I did make it later to the course before I went back to the stable for its second visit. I'm going to the stable now twice a day on weekends because otherwise I'm just sitting around and getting angry about life. So Well, I'm still mad that I won't have a wife looking for me in heaven. I'm sorry.
Keep moving. You're playing golf.
308, and I'm hitting it great. God, I'm so happy about. It's really fun to go, and it's a pain because you have to drive there and park and and get the bucket and But I'm really enjoying the heck out of it. I found a really fun way to spend an hour and a half or something on a weekend afternoon. Really.
So you're saying it's good to drive angry?
Oh, I always drive angry. I always assume someone's out to get me, and by the way, it's just the nature.
Golf balls. have golf balls.
Oh yeah, no. I do. I do let out a serious amount of emotion for his thing. And let's not talk about me. No, everything's fine.
Monica Seles out there.
No, I don't yell and scream at all. Anyway, here's our happy Monday. It's a beautiful day, hot, steamy, and I'm really noticing the humidity. Just going out to get the paper in the morning and even before dawn. Yeah. For some reason, it's probably just an age thing as I get older, but the humidity is really whacking me. So for some reason.
It was 68 with a nice breeze this morning.
Well, okay, you got the mountain thing there going there. It was an 89 in the morning. 309, here's the number 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We got the Supreme Court stuff. As, they call it the Kimmer decision, because as the Kimmer decision, I told you last week and last couple of weeks, there's no way that they're going to grant complete immunity for anything a president does while he's in office, period. They are going to grant absolute immunity for presidential duties. The question is, and I said duty, the question is, was January 6th, where they're claiming that he started an insurrection. That's going to be very, very hard to prove. But the thing, his presidential duties as president, he advised his staff to protest peacefully. Now, is that a presidential duty? Or was that a personal thing? Hey, show them how you feel about me. I mean,
but it was nothing wrong.
I know. Either way, I know. It's also a free speech issue. There's, but that's what's going to happen. It's going down to the lower court, and they're going to have to decide. The court going to have to decide specifically, was that a presidential duty, and then they're going to decide, and then no matter what, that's going to be appealed to the Supreme Court again. So this is going to be at least a year. So the Jack Smith and also the Fulton County thing. If they're, the presidential duty business, again, Donald Trump was accused of talking with his vice president to get him to talk about the fairness of the election and see if there were delegates out there that should have been counted. And he talked with his lawyers, and his lawyers gave him advice, and he acted on the advice. Those are presidential duties concerning an election of the United States. How could that not be a presidential duty? I mean, it's not as though he went to the local Krispy Kreme and stole something off the cash register, or convinced somebody, to go puncture the tires on the guy who gave him the finger back. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff going for us. Now, shall I do the Wayne No Offense thing? Did you see that? Did you both get that, Flounder? Do you even know Wayne No Offense? I don't even know Flounder even.
Yes, I do.
Do you know Wayne No Offense? I thought this was pretty cool. And by the way, Pete Davis will have an AI update here for you. Or what do we? A
scary one.
A scary update. Oh, I got to use my thing here. Wayne No Offense, our former producer, Wayne No Offense, back when radio was in its high glory, man, like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Anyway, Wayne No Offense, he's tuned into AI. And so he sent this to all of us, and he said, I'm loving this AI technology. I know you are too. It's a flawless software. What could go wrong? And he says, I asked for a poem about a talk host, Marine, named Kimmer. And here's the poem. He says, I want a talk show host poem, Marine. His name, it didn't say his or her, it just said Marine named Kimmer. Here's the poem. In the spotlight's glow, she weaves her tales, Marine Kimmer with wit that never fails. Her voice a compass guiding through the night, navigating conversations with insight. Her laughter echoes like waves upon the shore, a lighthouse for lost souls seeking something more. In the studio's embrace, she finds her rhythm, a symphony of words, a captivating prism. Kimmer, the storyteller, spins her yarns, unraveling mysteries, bridging hearts that yearn. Her microphone, a wand, conjures magic spells, and listeners lean in under her enchanting spells. So here's to Marine Kimmer, the talk show queen, whose words ignite... Shut up. Whose words ignite fires where dreams convene. May her voice echo far and wide across the airwaves, a beacon of connection in this world of endless waves. Gee, I feel so honored and feminine. That's what I replied. Oh, my God. Now, isn't that amazing that, you said a Marine named Kimmer, and the computer went feminine. How could Kimmer be a girl's name? I mean, I seriously... Well, but again, there you are. You could publish stuff like this. You could just say, do me some poem stuff and send it to somebody and probably get it published, and you didn't do anything.
They're writing scripts now. They're writing TV shows and movie scripts.
Yeah. Yeah, well, anyway, a lot coming up. 3:14, happy Monday, 404-741-1230. Join us. What do you think about the court stuff? Give her Pete and Flounder. Yeah, look out. Here we go.
Latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
On this episode of The Real Houses of Atlanta.
Whoa, Bobby, what's going on?
Well, now that I'm the HOA president, I'm going to start cracking down on the neighborhood.
With a sledgehammer?
Oh, look, this place is looking rough, and nobody's moving right now either. So I'm telling the neighbors it's time to fix up the homes they have.
And what do you suggest?
Well, I'm telling everybody on the block about Exovations. They're right here, and they can get your house the facelift it needs. We're talking new siding, roofing, windows, doors, decks, even porches, patios, and porticos. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start with Jim next door. Hey, Jimmy, you got a window out. Check the bylaws.
Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Avoid an HOA headache and let us give your home the facelift it needs. We'll introduce you to our ExoVision, our very own architectural design that allows you to envision your home's transformation before you even start the project. Ready for your on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation? Visit exovations.com and book your consultation today.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Yellow Jacket fans, your Georgia Tech football team prepares to tackle the competition this fall in historic Bobby Don Stadium at Hyundai Field.
5 seconds to go. He will toss it into the end zone at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown Jackets. Touchdown Jackets. I see it, and I still don't believe it.
Support second-year head coach Brent Key and the Jackets on game day by visiting RamblinRack.com to get your single game and season tickets today. Sting 'em.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
So thrilling. See what's going on here on your happy Monday. How you doing? 319. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder and Michael Jackson. On this day, 2009, the week after the suspected perv's death, the singer dominated the top 10 Billboard album chart, leading the pack number ones, followed by the essential Michael Jackson at number 2, Thriller number 3, and Off the Wall number 4. The Jackson 5's Ultimate Collection held number 5 spot. Bad was number 6. Dangerous number 7. Greatest Hits History Volume 1 came in at number 8. Michael's Ultimate Collection occupied number 9. Collectively, Jackson's, and this is a week after he died, Jackson's solo album sold 415,000 copies that week. The week before his death, his titles sold a combined 10,000. After he died, about 500,000. Wow, Michael Jackson. And again, another shame in entertainment business. Just horrible.
Yeah,
I know.
Who cares?
I know. 320. Now, as you know, phone calls take priority. So a little harsh there, Pete. God.
I just don't care anymore.
Well, there you are. 320. To the phones. Stan, you're on the radio, man. Happy Monday. What's going on? What do you think?
So am I supposed to call you the queen now?
Apparently. The queen of Atlanta radio. Put it on a freaking billboard. And by God, in fact, we want to, let's do a fundraiser. We want a fundraiser to have a billboard with my picture on it, and all the three of us, and with an arrow to me that says the queen of Atlanta radio. I swear to God, it's hysterical.
The Quimmer.
I'll be wearing a dress. Oh my God. Give me a tranny dress. Put me in a dress and high heel. Oh my God. Never. I'll take that back. Never mind.
I'll send money to you for it. Hey, well, I was listening to your Friday show over the weekend, and you mentioned Shannon Faulkner being the first girl at the Citadel.
Yeah.
I graduated from there in '84, so I was kind of.
Oh, really?
Taken aback by that.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why were you taken aback?
I was ticked off that they let it happen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant that I did something that made you angry about me mentioning she was there.
Oh, no. Okay. My point being, the next, she lived in the infirmary for 10 days before she left.
Yeah.
The next year, 4 young ladies joined the Corps of Cadets there, and all 4 of them ended up graduating in 1999. And you know who one of them was?
I forgot. I used to know
Nancy Mace.
Nancy Mace, South Carolina Congresswoman. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
In fact, one of the.
Yeah, as I recall, Shannon Faulkner, she was so screwed up by the decision and the pressure. She came in overweight and she just had a nervous breakdown, and she just lasted, like 2 weeks or something. But those other ladies, man, I mean, once they took it seriously and they were ready to do it,
Yeah.
I don't like.
They did it.
Yeah, I don't really like co-ed training camp stuff, but I mean, I think if women want to serve in the military, that's great. But I don't like kind of co-ed training. I don't know. I don't know. I'm an old-fashioned fart anyway. So, Shannon,
I am too.
And, now, what was it like? Tell me, Shannon. I'm sorry. You go ahead. We're having a little delay thing. I'm sorry. You go right ahead. Please.
No, I was just going to say they set up Shannon Faulkner. Her lawyer did it all for the precedent-setting case and everything. That's the only reason that she was put up. But Nancy Mace and those other girls were in it for the real deal.
Yeah, I like that Nancy Mace. I got to tell you, that little hot little number, the one who said her boyfriend was grabbing her by the waist to come back to bed. She had to go to a prayer meeting. I said, oh my God, she said that out loud.
Yeah, she's sharp.
I love it. Well, listen,
right,
thanks,
man. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Stan. You have a great day yourself, sir. Nice to talk to you. 323, Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We do have a birthday list here. Jamie Farr, the Lebanese-American cross-dressing superstar Corporal Klinger on MASH forever. He was in Cannonball Run 2, the legend. Jamie Farr is 90. Good for him. Jamie Farr is 90. And boy, what a series that was, really. Even with the two different colonels and stuff, that was, you didn't like that series? You didn't like MASH?
The first 3 years were funny. The last 6 or so years was all politics and lecturing.
Well, I don't even remember watching the last. I remember the early with Colonel Potter and the early stuff. Those were great shows.
Mike Farrell ruined that show.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. In fact, that's when I think when he jumped the shark, because when he was in there, that just didn't fit to me. I didn't like his character. Anyway, Jamie Farr, 90 years old. Good for you. And by the way, speaking of war stuff, this we talked a couple weeks ago recently about Gallipoli and how Winston Churchill took the blame for that horrible, just horrible slaughter of troops. But there's even one worse, and I know Pete knows about this because he's a literary guy. 1916, World War I, one of the worst, most bloody warfare decisions in history. The Brits have been bombing the area of the no man's land between the English and Nazi forces in the Somme region of France. S-O-M-M-E.
No Nazis.
The English and the German forces. The
Germans. What years?
They were Germans. Okay, when I say Germans, I think Nazis in World War II. They hadn't established Nazis until 31 or 2 or something there. I think probably. Anyway, okay, freaking Germans. Okay, let me start over. All right, they were bombing the no man's land between English and German forces in the Somme region of France. The Brits figured there wouldn't be much resistance after all that bombing, so they went over the trenches and were met with withering machine gun fire from hidden nests that left after 1 day, 20,000 British soldiers dead. 1 day, 40,000 wounded. 1 day. The offensive eventually stopped after 4 months. And by then, this is the Somme, S-O-M-M-E, Somme region of France. After 4 months, by then, the total casualties for British and French soldiers alone, not the enemy, British and French alone, 600,000. And it marked another reason the numbers were so high. It was the first battle in warfare using tanks. 1916, World War I, the Somme region of France. Gee, wow.
Who invented the tank?
Probably some guy named Porsche, I think. Wasn't it a German guy?
Porsche. No, it was British. The British had the tanks first.
Yeah. Well, there you are. Anyway, 326. I did a little lengthy history lesson here. Sorry. There's no Shaw in Porsche. I drove a Porsche long before you ever did, my friend. I drove a Porsche in 1964. So, yeah, those old bathtub Porsches were, they were just Volkswagens and shit, and the engine sounded the same, and there was a gear shift on 4 on the floor, and gear shift on the floor, and nothing. There was no console. There was maybe a radio, and it was just valve plunked or something. Anyway, 326. Yes, sir, Flounder.
Murphy's on the horn. He wants to talk about the Trump debate.
Outstanding. Murphy, you're on the radio, my friend. Welcome aboard. What do you think?
Well, I got really upset with Trump. I'm a Trumper person, but when he was getting after Biden about sending all that billions of dollars to Ukraine, he didn't ask Biden why that he declined to give our American military a pay increase. That was like, man, I wanted him to say that so bad.
Yeah. In fact, this business, anybody who's been in uniform as maybe following these things a little more closely, all of a sudden we have more concern with DEI and making sure that nobody's offended, and now tranny transition with military fundings. They also cut back the pay raises that were going into effect, and I forgot they did something really just stupid again last week. The women in the draft business are getting all that kind of crap. And I mean the entire military, honestly, if I had a 17, 18-year-old kid and he thought about joining the Marines after he got out of high school before college, I'd say no. Wait, don't, not now. I don't trust these people.
I just asked Biden about, why didn't you give our pay increase to these our men, but give everything over there overseas?
Biden would have choked on his teeth, man.
Yeah,
stammering, you know. Yeah. I don't know.
I know. I mean, what a disgrace, honestly. And again, remember, they took 16 of his closest advisors and friends, people who've known him for 50 years, 7.5 days to train him for that debate, and that's what they got. And now Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, is blaming the staff, saying it's all their fault. They over-prepared him. Yeah, they just filled him with all this stuff, and they did a terrible job. How about blaming him? He's going downhill so fast. Look at the difference between what he did at the debate and what he did at the State of the Union address. How long ago was that? I mean, this is unbelievable. Oh, man. And shameful about the military. Yes, sir.
I have a strong suspicion that he was CNN and already told him what questions was going to be happening.
Well, I think they kind of admitted it by mistake. They said, well, he knew the question, so it was, he had no excuse for it.
There was a video over the weekend that showed from the debate, who was the moderator? Dana Bash?
Dana Bash, yeah.
Where she was pointing her finger towards Biden to let them know which person to look at.
Yeah. I mean, see, just the whole thing. And by the way, now the liberals are claiming that the debate was actually set up to help Donald Trump. Everything about it was...
CNN did that. That's what MSNBC is saying, that CNN did it on purpose.
Yeah, did it on purpose. I don't know, man. I love these people, I tell you.
Well, didn't the Wall Street Journal do a story Friday basically breaking down all his gaffes and stupidity things that behind the scenes people knew that he was getting demented, and they didn't wait to print that until after the debate? Why didn't they have that story before? Why didn't we have that story 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, well, there you are. And again, but at least now more and more, and even newspaper, hell, the Chicago Tribune says, don't run. And that's where they're having their convention, is in Chicago. And the major Chicago newspaper just said, no, you got to get rid of this guy. I mean...
But they waited till after the debate when they all got the go-ahead, like when the DNC said, yeah, go. And Obama, okay, you can go after him now. They lied to us this whole time about it was all cheap fakes and deep fakes, and you don't believe your eyes and ears. And now they're all saying, oh, we knew all along. No, you didn't. Well, you did, but you lied to us about it.
Well, that's the cover-up of the media. In fact, I've got, hold on, let me, in fact, I tell you, give me 20 seconds here, Flounder.
1, 2.
Shut up. Here are a couple of quick Babylon Bee headlines. Dems stick with Biden as it would be real pain to reprint these ballots they already filled out. Report after a heated battle broke out over golf handicaps. Next presidential debate to be held at Top Golf. One more. Armless, legless Biden claims defeat of debate, just a flesh wound. and my favorite go on with
Come back, you coward.
I'm not dead yet. Well, you will be soon. One more. Journalists dumbfounded as there were no previous signs of Biden declining whatsoever. I mean, who are they kidding? All of a sudden they're saying, well, you can't run this, man. You hid it from the public for 3.5 years, you bastards. You hid it when you let him get away with staying in the cellar and not debating Donald Trump when you were running last time. What a crock. Oh, my God. 3:31, I'm late. Sorry. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. How you doing?
It's time for your Georgia headlines, presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
The Atlanta Journal and Constitution's editorial board says it's time for Biden to pass the torch in an opinion piece published by the newspaper. The editor said throughout the excruciating 90 minutes Thursday night, the president failed to convey a competent and coherent vision for the future of America. They went on to say that Biden deserves a better exit from public life than the one he endured when he shuffled off the stage Thursday night. 2 Liberty County firefighters reported missing several days ago have been found dead in Tennessee. Tennessee authorities found the bodies of Reagan Anderson and Chandler Kubander, as well as Anderson's missing vehicle last night. They said the bodies would be sent for an autopsy to determine the manner of death. Police said no further details were available, and the investigation is still ongoing.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 106.3 on social media or download the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, I got now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer, 333. 404-741-1230, 1230, if you would like to join us, and we certainly encourage that. I also encourage you to get over to Atlanta Safe House. You know, they have a showroom in Ackworth. Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer safes. I've had 2 gun safes from these beautiful people, Jeff and Mark. And this is a non-woke company. Again, remember the time, if you recall this or not, but some other company gave out the master reset code to people who didn't deserve it. Atlanta Safe House would never do that. If you've had an issue with that, get in touch with Atlanta Safe House, and they will make sure that the customer only gets the master reset code. Stuff like that. This is a non-woke company protecting your rights and protecting your stuff. Gun safes like I've had. Oh, and by the way, you mentioned gun safes, and of course they're big enough to hold rifles and stuff, so they're pretty tall safes. But it's not just a big, empty, tall thing. It's got shelves and units and nooks and crannies and anything you want. They can believe me, they can take care of anything you're looking to keep your stuff safe. And it doesn't have to be those great big gun safes. They have beautiful pistol safes, high security safes, business safes, jewelry safes, stuff to keep the things you just don't want to lose, including your medical records, like the Kimmer, like an idiot. But things like your living will, your marriage or divorce papers, stuff for your kids, your credit card things. If something happens to me, my kids know what to do. Atlanta Safe House, showroom in Ackworth. They've been doing this for like a million years. It seems like decades in the business. They can even build you a family storm shelter. I'm not making that up. All the top brands, things are pretty much basically always on sale. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Look them up on the web and see what they can do for you to protect your stuff. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Don't miss a minute of the action this season as Georgia Tech men's basketball takes the court in the Camas Pavilion in Midtown Atlanta.
Into the lane, fadeaway jumper. He knocks it down and a foul.
Secure your seat in the Thriller Dome to watch head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets take on top-ranked opponents all season long.
Dives down the lane, shoots the scoop, and he scores!
Get your tickets today at RamblinRack.com. Sting 'em.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. Horizonscreening.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911. Online at stopmyed.com.
Motown, man. I used to love, just loved all when Motown hit. And I'm a Beach Boys guy and, stuff like that. But man, when Motown hit with Supremes and Four Tops, I like these guys, man. Love this song. Four Tops. Here we go. I'm going to get into the chorus here now. I'll break. Here we go. Come on, man. Reach out for me. Four Tops. Their singer Ronaldo Obi Benson. On this day in 2005, passed away in Detroit from lung cancer. He was diagnosed after having a leg amputated because of circulation problems. And they discovered the lung cancer. The Four Tops sold 50 million records at hits including this one, Reach Out, I Can't Help Myself. Benson also co-wrote What's Going On, which became a number 2 hit for Marvin Gaye as well. Anyway, so there are Four Tops, great song. Again, phone calls take priority. To the phones, 338. It's Murphy, you're on the radio. Happy Monday. Murphy, what do you think? What's going on? Hello, Murphy. Hey, Murphy. Hey, the Murph the Furf right here. Murph, how you doing, buddy? I hear you. I know you're there. Murphy, you there with us? Try it again. Hey, Murphy. Well, I don't know what that means.
No. He's parasailing right now.
Being dragged along the pavement. I don't know. Maybe fell off a horse. My God. Poor bastard. Somebody back check that signal. Wait, see what cell phone that's coming to help the man. It's obviously in distress. Our birthday list includes Wally Famous Amos, the chocolate chip cookie guy. Famous Amos is 88. Today, and it's a pretty good. It's hard to get good cookies at the store because they're and like the extra moist ones tend to be pretty good, but it's hard to get really good cookies. Even the Pepperidge Farm type ones hard to get sometimes at the store.
His cookies were dry, but the chocolate was amazing.
Yeah. See, history list on this day, 1963. They caught him. Harold Adrian Russell Kim Philby. Known as Kim Philby, but he had like 4 names, a British intelligence officer named in the infamous Cambridge 5, spying for the Soviet Union, divulging secrets in World War II and the start of the Cold War. He defected to Moscow when he knew he was about to be outed. He was given a hero's funeral when he died of a heart attack years later. I read a whole bunch of stuff about him. His wife, he got his wife to go over there, and she didn't know what was going on, and she really didn't want to believe it. It was kind of a, God, man, can you imagine being a spy?
We got Stuart back.
Stuart, you're back on the radio. Stuart, you're on the radio, man. How's it going?
Stu, baby.
Stu's.
I'm doing real well.
What's up, man?
I just want to tell you, I wound up in this past weekend. I went to like a yard sale, estate sale, and I found a book a cookbook from Ludlow Porch.
Ludlow Porch cookbook?
It was called like the Fat White Guy's Cookbook or something. Ludlow Porch and his wife.
Oh, I'll be damned. Have you got it there in front of you? Read us a recipe.
It's actually, I meant to grab it before I left work. I left to go to work this morning at 5 o'clock, and I forgot it.
It's all right.
In the house, but I saw that. I was like, oh, my God. So here's an icon from way back then, Ludlow. Here's I found a cookbook for 25 cents.
I'll be damned. I'm surprised at the cookbook. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd said you'd found a cook or found a handyman's book on how to get squirrels out of the attic or something. I think because I think we all knew about that every few days or something. I miss that guy. What a remarkable old fart he was. What a Ludlow Porch. And the Marine Corps birthday did a thing up in the restaurant up there, Blue Ribbon Grill, was it up there near the mall?
North Lake.
Yeah.
I think they're near like La Vista, I think.
Yeah, somewhere up there. Oh, man. Hey, listen, thanks for the memories, man. I appreciate it. Talk to you later.
I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
I was the one about a year and a half ago when y'all was at Flounder's place. I don't know if you remember, I sent you a picture of the mule in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that was me that sent you that picture.
I'll be damned. Yeah, cool. Well, listen, thanks for listening. Thanks for calling. Have a great Monday. Take care. Call anytime, man. I appreciate it. 342, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. And again, we have the Supreme Court stuff. They ruled basically today that the president in his official duties has absolute immunity from prosecution of a crime. Otherwise, we could talk about this a lot. Oh, incident, we have Shannon Burke at 4:30. Is that still true? I think Shannon Burke's going to join us 4:30 this afternoon.
Good.
And we Flounder put out a call to Neil Boards, but we haven't heard back. I'm sure he's traveling somewhere, so he probably doesn't even have the message yet. But if we get him, we'll get him on too, and just for fun, talk about this stuff. Anyway, Supreme Court, they put it back to the lower court to determine exactly where the line is between official duties and unofficial duties, and that's going to be the catch. So it's going to go back to the trial for the business of whether he ordered an insurrection. and whether that was part of his presidential duties, and whether he even ordered an insurrection. I mean, the whole thing has got to go back to whether he committed a crime that was not in a crime, period, and whether it was outside of his so-called presidential duties. When that comes in, of course, the court's going to be in, Washington or wherever I forgot whether it's New York or Washington or whatever. Either way, it's a liberal jury. He's going to be convicted if it goes all the way to trial again, if they even let it go back to trial again, and that's possibly maybe not happen. The judge, after this ruling, the judge can say, well, this isn't going to go anywhere. Anyway, whatever. If he does get convicted, then it's going to go back to the Supreme Court again to say that it really wasn't an official, you know what I mean? So it's going to be at least a year. So this whole Jack Smith thing is just crap. And by the way, for the record, the three girls on the court, there are four girls, but the three of them, the liberals, Kagan, and the really stupid one, Sotomayor, and the chicken-livered coward political appointee, Justice Titchy and Bippity Boppity Boo, all those three chicks, I think clearly their periods got linked. When you get chicks together in a room, for a long time, they synchronize. Yeah, they synchronize their periods, and you get the monthly curse, girls, as you know. I know I'm a father of two daughters and, a couple of wives. So, we're familiar with this kind of stuff. Anyway, so they linked their periods and they all voted, no. In fact, one of the stupid ones said, oh, I can't believe it. This means that the president can do anything he wants and you get away with it. No, it doesn't, you idiot. If a president does something stupid, they can impeach him, which they did twice already. There's a lot of ways you can get around it. God.
Did you see all the Democratic operatives who are calling for Biden to assassinate Trump, to send troops to arrest him, or just shoot him or drone strike him because it's okay now? Supreme Court says it's okay.
Idiots. I mean, this is what they do. And then they claim Donald Trump's the guy who will not leave office. By the way, then why did he leave office before? I mean, where did this come from all of a sudden? That he's suddenly going to be a dictator and he's going to, and by the way, he's going to get away with it? That he's going to just have a coup and nobody's going to say anything?
He forgot to stay in office, just like Putin forgot to invade Ukraine during the 4 years Trump was president.
See, that's the thing. He was going to do it, had it right there in the damn note. God, somebody flipped the page. I lost that whole week.
On the calendar.
Oh, my God. And it's one of these idiot girls, she said, well, the problem is, if he does something, you get away after this president won't be able to touch it. Well, if they had not put this into effect, it's possible, in terms of official duties, remember when President White Trash, Joe Washer daughter, bombed some people over in Iraq and killed, or Afghanistan, Iraq, and killed the wrong people, innocent people he thought were spies and the enemy, and they were innocent people, and he killed them all, innocent civilians. Well, that's a crime. Therefore, he could be convicted. He could be charged for that after he leaves office if they hadn't made a decision like this. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Sure. They're protecting decisions you make as part of your presidential duties. He made a mistake. He screwed up, cost people lives.
Yeah. I'd like to point out that you have reached your daily limit of the word duty.
Good, because I'm tired. I'm tired of saying it.
You all right?
No, I'm all right now.
You want a lozenge or something?
No, and by the way, now the Dems, I love this stuff, suspected child molester Chuck Schumer said this is a sad day for America, for our democracy, and then he threatened to murder Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, and he threatened to force Amy Coney Barrett to have a fake abortion. I mean, they're really coming after these Supreme Court justices by suspected child molester Chuck Schumer. Treason or excitement of an insurrection should not be considered a core constitutional power afforded a president. Well, there was no insurrection, you idiot, and he didn't tell him to go do an insurrection. He said peacefully protest. I mean, my God, here we go. 347, can repeat and flounder. I'll do better.
If you love news and talk, you have to connect with the biggest personalities in the South at thepodcastpark.com. It's more original Atlanta content from Atlanta's hometown talk crew. From legal news to sports and politics, and even archives of interviews from years past. Find the podcast that you love and subscribe everywhere you get podcasts.
This year, treat yourself to an explosive 4th of July with Great Grizzly Fireworks. Come shop their incredible selection of the biggest and best fireworks at a Great Grizzly store in Forest Park, Cartersville, Noonan, or Grayson. And do it soon, because this year, Great Grizzly is giving you a chance to win a $5,000 fireworks prize pack. Sign up today and register to win at fireworks365.com/fan.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. Winner will be selected on Friday, July 5th, 2024, and will be responsible for picking up their prize.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
That's right, baby. Little R&B coming your way down. 10 before 4. Here we go.
I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love that's
Here we go.
There's not a minute.
Luther Vandross. 2005, record producer, singer, songwriter Luther Vandross died at the age of 54. He was at the medical center in New Jersey 2 years after suffering a major stroke. This is 2005. His Never Too Much was a #1 R&B hit. Worked with Diana Ross, Carly Simon, Chaka Khan, Donna Summer, Barbara Streisand, Mariah Carey, and David Bowie. Luther Vandross had 4 Grammys for his final album, Dance with My Father. Luther Vandross passed away 54 in this day, 2005. Our birthday list includes, remember the name, the actress Genevieve Bujold. Genevieve Bujold is 82. She was one of the many French actresses. We got another French actress coming up later that I'm already thinking about. Sorry. History, 1979, another woke idea that was ridiculous from the beginning. Hey, let's honor Susan B. Anthony. Okay, how about maybe a stamp or a holiday or... No, I know. How about a coin that looks like lots of other coins and we'll make it worth $1 and nobody's ever seen one or had one and it doesn't... Flounder, have you ever seen a Susan B. Anthony dollar?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
Yes.
Have you ever actually had one? I mean,
I haven't had one. My dad has one.
I mean, yeah, I used to give give them away as souvenirs or my grandkids or something. I sent my grandkids like a Kennedy $50 thing and
actually,
original silver dollars.
This weekend, my dad gave my niece and nephew a bunch of $2 bills.
Well, yeah, there you go.
They were like, they were in awe of them.
Yeah, I sent my grandkids actual old-fashioned silver dollars. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe how big they are. And the Susan B. Anthony dollar out. It looked like a 50-cent piece, it was just silly. I'm glad they wanted to salute her, but it was dumb. It was 1979. My God, man. All right, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. A lot more of this. Oh, by the way, Shannon Burke is going to join us at 4, a little at the 4 o'clock news. He got done with his podcast early, so he'll be joining us at 4 instead of 4:30. And the Biden family, oh my God, these people, what a bunch of just white trash, the whole freaking bunch of them. Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, the enabler, the person responsible for all of this, who should have grabbed him by the neck and said, "You're not running again." After the night he won the election, I can't tell you I can't believe how stupid they were. The whole Democrat Party, Barack Hussein Putitat, Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Farcabbage, all of them should have made a beeline to his office or his home the morning after the election and said, "You did it. Now it's over. You are not running again. You have 4 years to give us a good campaign." All right. Anyway, Dr. Jill says, well, who's responsible for all this? It's all you people for the debate performance. It's all your fault. Anita Dunn, the senior advisor, knows him better than anybody, and her husband is attorney. Ron Klain, the chief of staff, point debate. And she's throwing them all under the bus, saying, well, they wore him out and they didn't know what to do. And, they should have relied on his vision for 4 years instead of getting bogged down in defending his record. They blame everybody but Biden. It's just God. And by the way, at that meeting over the weekend, apparently Hunter was one of the first ones to speak up fervently for his father, notorious for his wild exploits. But Hunter says, we got to keep going. This is my dad. We'll show how good he is and so on and so forth.
Because he's the one who's footing the law bills for his son.
He can't turn on his old man. With the information, he's screwed. Yeah, he'd never get out. Anyway, mounting pressure, political future. Again, who knows? I can't believe they're going to keep him in the... Well, they're going to keep him in the race because who else do they have? They did their own... The Democrat Party's done their own survey showing nobody could beat Biden. There's nobody in the Democrat Party who would even do better than Biden's going to lose. He'll be the better of all the candidates, and he's going to get creamed. They're all pretty much, acknowledging it. Oh, by the way, you're going to hear something from Vice Presidential side piece in a second. I'll make you absolutely gag. But first, did you see this? Actually, I didn't see it or hear it, but I think Flounder found this and sent it to me over the weekend. James Carville. This guy, as much as I despise a lot of things, he is a Marine, and he's married to a Republican woman. So, but again, he speaks his mind. So I really appreciate that. I disagree with most of his politics, but here's what even James Carville, the well-known liberal, says. He was confronted about his comment saying the Democrat messaging is too feminine. Carville, quote, "If you start speaking like NPR, you're going to lose votes. I just don't like the term communities of color. I live in New Orleans. They got 3 guys on the street corner. Hey, fellas, how are things in the communities of color today?" And they said, what is this son of a bitch talking about? What is this son of a bitch talking about? Jive ass bastard out of here. We started on this coded language and we let it get away from us. He says, guess where our young male number is going? In the toilet. Because Democrat messaging is too feminine. It just is. Jonathan Capehart asked Carville about his Democrat culture. Too many preachy females. Too much don't eat hamburgers. Don't watch football. Wear a condom. Man, crap, leave me alone. Quote, Capehart, there are a lot of people for whom saying that there are too many preachy females might sound like you're a 20th century man in a 21st century country that has changed. Carville, quote, I'm sorry. There are too many preachy females in Democratic campaign culture. We come across to people as judgmental. That's not good at all. Look at the male number who identify as Democrats. They're actually people who don't mind losing elections because it makes them feel better and superior. If you don't win, you aren't blank. You're just running around with talking points. You don't win elections by telling people their dietary habits are bad. Too many preachy females. Ta-da!
Speaking of which, why don't we play that sound of the 2 preachy females at the BET Awards last night?
Let's do it right now. Hold on a sec. I got it right here. If I could only find it. Oh, crap. Wait a minute.
Kamala Harris.
I got it right here. Vice President's side piece, a shiftless and lazy vice president, pandering with her cameo appearance during the Black Entertainment TV Awards last night, pre-recorded skit with Taraji P. Henson. Here, Flounder, if you will, the vice president. Right over here. She's talking and about to speak.
One time we were out floating around in the water, and there was a guy in a boat right next to us.
Fairly
my
sure
wife was like, "Oh, that's my ex-boyfriend."
Pretty sure that's not the.
I know it's just firing off on its own.
Oh, it is. The computer got him. So we'll do it. We'll do it after the top of the. Can we do it? Let's do a Founders Funny. We'll do that here since you got it there. And after, right at the top of the news, we have Shannon Burke coming up, and you'll hear Vice President's side piece just again making an absolute fool of herself in front of God and everybody on BET last night.
All right, here's Bill Burr, what Pete was talking about earlier about sleeping on the couch.
Oh, excellent, Bill Burr.
I couldn't believe it. It's one of the most arrogant things I've ever heard in my life. Can you believe that one adult telling another adult where they can sleep? Like I was just going to sit up in bed and grab a blanket like Linus. All right. Hey, we're downstairs, by the way. Like over here downstairs? Or like more over here? Where should I sleep? Like, are you out of your mind? I go, I'm not sleeping downstairs. She's like, who are you going to sleep then? I'm like, where I always sleep. I will sleep on your side of the bed if I want to. What are you going to do? I'm bigger than you. I'll hang on to the covers. Try to get me out. No tickling. Go ahead. Yeah. I was like, you don't tell me where to sleep. I sleep where I want to sleep. She's like, well, you don't tell me where to sleep. I'm like, I'm not the one telling people where to sleep. It was one of those classic relationship fights. It's like 2 a.m. You're both half naked. She's not wearing a bra. You got half a ball hanging out. Like, enough there. I need to say this. The other day, I felt slighted.
I felt slighted. Bill Burr. Yes, the nightmare of holy matrimony right there. Oh, mercy. I got 3:59. Coming right up to the top of the news, so I have Shannon Burke, and you'll hear from the Vice President. Also, the new details about President White Trash's mental state. The people on his staff know that he's only good to work between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. So that's how they do his schedule. And after that, it's over. He can't concentrate. He just can't do the job. 10 to 4, 6-hour day. President. Of course, he spent the last week, vacationing. So, anyway, coming about 4 o'clock, Kimmer Pete and Flounder and Shannon Burke, and your calls 106.3.
and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
A long-awaited decision on Tom Graham. Fox News. The Supreme Court ruled today in Trump versus the United States. The majority finding that a former president has substantial immunity from prosecution for official acts committed while in office. The High Court sent the matter back down to a lower court. The justices did not apply the ruling to whether former President Trump is immune from prosecution over his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Fox's Shannon Bream is in Washington.
The bottom line is it does mean that this case is going to be delayed. They said, listen, you guys expedited the case to get it here. There was not sufficient fact-finding in the lower courts. We don't have the briefing, the facts, the evidence we would need to go and parse through which of these allegations amounts to an official act, what's an unofficial act. I got to say, though, about the dissents, and there were multiple of them, the majority wrote that they said it was wholly disproportionate, a complete overreaction. There's also a warning from the majority that they don't want presidents to leave office and immediately be at the mercy of a political opponent.
The 45th president reacting, sounding upbeat. Today's ruling essentially means his election interference case will be delayed for several months. Fox's Brian Yennis.
We're hearing from the former president on a Truth Social post in all caps. Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American after the Supreme Court came out with its opinion, essentially granting absolute immunity to those two cert acts done by the president for his core constitutional powers. And obviously now this going back to the district court in D.C., all but guaranteeing that this case will not be started or resolved by Election Day.
Trump is still scheduled to be sentenced in his New York hush money case. That's set for July 11th. A Massachusetts judge declaring a mistrial today in the murder case against Karen Reed. She's accused of murdering her police officer boyfriend and leaving his body in a snowstorm. America is listening to Fox News.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land,
where you can do things like clean your gutters, pay tolls, and even get the wrong thing you ordered. We got it all. Potholes, people talking at the movies, and don't forget about flat tires when it's raining. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, so customize your coverage with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. And relax, knowing you got the coverage you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
If you had $1 million in 2009, today it would be worth less than $700,000. Thank you, big government. Hedge against runaway inflation with gold from Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. I trust Birch Gold, and you can too.
Text the word PROTECT to the number 989898 and get a free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Yeah, there we go. Flounder's computer is giving him the willies today. It's not his fault. Oh, mercy. 403, how you doing? It's only the Road. Pete Davison, Flounder. 2001, Rolling Stone Ronnie Wood was commissioned to paint a group portrait of the diners who were the regulars at a West End London restaurant, The Ivy. Elton John and Pet Shop Boy Neil Tennant were two pop stars included in the portrait done by Ronnie Wood in 2001. All right? Kind of weird. That birthday list includes Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd is 72 today. Pretty good actor, except when driving Miss Daisy, that accent was a little...
What?
I didn't like. I thought he was just a little too kind of like, how much Daisy? I don't know. I like the movie. I definitely... Well, anything with Morgan Freeman in it is going to be a good movie, truly. Of course. And our quick, we got joining our friend here in a second. Quick history list today. Oh my God, didn't I just do one? Well, I'll do it right here. 1989, 63-year-old Hugh Hefner married 26-year-old Kimberly Conrad. She was Miss January 88. Her ambitions were, quote, to be financially self-sufficient, do a cover for Playboy, and travel the world. Well, they divorced in 1998, and now she is traveling and set for life, and so Hugh Hefner. Anyway, 404, 405, and welcome aboard our Man Country Radio podcast man, Shannon Burke. Yoddy dum dum bum. Shannon, how you doing, sir? What's going on? Happy Monday. What do you think, my friend?
I apologize if I don't seem dependably engaged. It's after 4.
So. So you ready to cocktail hour? Time to hit the pool.
Gave it all I had.
Yeah, go ahead and rub it in. I remember the days at 4 o'clock I was watching how to build a house, how to sell a house, or sell or don't sell, or well, the Alamo on open floor plans. I'm tired of open floor plans. God, if I hear more open floor plan one more time.
That's the trend.
I know. So what's going on, my friend? What do you think about Supreme Court stuff and Trump and the Democrats going nuts and everybody?
I love the reactions to them to it is, now Biden can send in SEAL Team 6 and kill Trump because it's official duty. Biden can declare Trump's a terrorist and lock him up in Gitmo because it's official duty. They've lost their minds because all of their favorites are going to benefit. Obama's not saying, he's saying thank you. Slick Willie's saying thank you. I'm sure W's happy. I mean, every president has made a decision during the presidency.
Resulted in bad things. Yeah, absolutely.
And the old days, remember that? They say, we're going to try W and Cheney for war crimes. Well, look, guess what happened?
Yeah.
No one was charged.
Lying about weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
Remember they were going to put him in jail for some. I mean, my God. Anyway, so.
Look, they'll all benefit, and let's admit it. I mean, this is maybe the first time is the first time it's been officially proclaimed, but we have operated under the same assumption since the beginning of the United States. So.
Well, also, the three girls, the three liberal girls were making the point that the president now can do anything he wants to because he's gotten immunity and pretending it's an official duty. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, there's 19 different ways you can stop a president, including impeachment. They impeached Donald Trump twice. Yeah. So you can't just do anything you want as president. They're going to do things to stop you. My God. And they think really he's going to just decide to take the Air Air Force and say bomb everybody in the country that doesn't like me or something. I mean, it's unbelievable. These people.
It's they take it to the extreme, and they over exaggerate it.
Well, but here we go again. It's like the same thing that happened before. All of a sudden, oh my God, we got to stop this Donald Trump. The moment we got to, oh my God, the country's and I'm thinking, stop it. We're putting a halt to all this maniac activity. It's just that's nonsense.
Well, nobody would be screaming about it if the Supreme Court was declaring it just at some other random time in our history and not and made it official because it's Trump and that's the reason, and they're willing to throw all of our norms out the window just to get him.
Absolutely. I mean, if there wasn't a clearer case of lawfare, in fact, that's one of the things the Supreme Court decision made very clear.
Yes, they did.
They're saying we do not want the opportunities that's going on right now where opponents will charge a president with a crime to mess up his campaign or mess up his administration or give him nothing but trouble as he's trying to run again, whatever, because they want to prevent political charges from happening. And this is exactly why they said you can't do it. That's part of his presidential duties. Now, of course, it's got to go to the lower court, district court again to determine what that means. But still, I mean, they're saying very clearly, we want to stop what you're doing. You Democrats are doing this, and it's not right. You can't just start charging presidents with crimes or ex-presidents with crimes to stop them from living their normal life, to say nothing of the freedom of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It has really bad implications, obviously, for Democrats. It shoots Jack Smith in several holes into his cases. It may even do away with the Georgia case. The president's if he's calling to ask what the votes are or find some more votes, he's the president.
Right. Well, the president has the right to talk to his staff and talk to his vice president and say, gee, I don't know if this is on the legit. We got to find out whether this is right or not. And try. So he's discussing the stuff that involved the presidential election. How could that not be presidential duties? I mean,
right.
My God. I mean, pretty much by definition, isn't that pretty much what they mean? Jeez.
It's wonderful. It's been a great week for Trump.
Yeah, every time they, and again, it's all backfired. It's all backfired, and there's more to come. I don't think any of this. I guess the only thing he's going to be caught with was the one with the so-called rape case where he was found innocent of raping, and he still got charged $80 million or something for that. So he can't do anything about that one. But still, the rest of these things I think are done. Uh-oh. AI.
Because, either...
There we go. We lost you for a second. You were back.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we did. No, it's okay. It's not your fault.
I'm worried about the 11th because everything else has failed him. Every Get Trump project has not got him. But July 11th, Marshawn could, lock him up.
He could. Now, I can't imagine on a it's 34 felonies, but still, it's bookkeeping. It's bookkeeping crime. They never said that he beat her or raped her or kidnapped her or blackmailed her. I mean, there's it's just the bookkeeping. He paid his lawyer, and it was a bookkeeping thing. There's no way that the judge can sentence him to prison.
No, but he may.
No possible way. But he could send him to house arrest or something and a huge fine. I'm sure he'll get a fine. But there's no way he could legitimately send Donald Trump to prison. I mean, in fact, I almost hope he does because I think that would cement it forever. Trump would get 80% of the votes. Even the liberals would say, oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, not most of them, but some would anyway. God.
I heard you talk about Carville. And he was at the Aspen Ideas Festival. And boy, when they said too many was too feminine, the messaging too feminine. They absolutely lost it at the Aspen Idea Festival.
Yes. Aspen. I have a picture of me sitting in a hot tub with a very pretty young lady in Aspen and doing something illegal at the time, but that's fine too. Anyway, bad things happen in Aspen. But again, James Carville's right. There's too many, liberal girls determining the don't eat meat, don't play football. He says, leave me alone. I'm a man. Stop doing this.
He starts to sound more and more conservative. And then I realized the guy was kind of a centrist Democrat. I mean, he didn't like Republicans, but his ideology now compared to where his party has gone, you would consider him almost a full-blown conservative.
Well, until he says, Trump should be in prison. He's a danger to America. I mean, so he he goes overboard about how much he hates Donald Trump, which bothers me because he doesn't give any credit to the fact that we had a pretty damn good straight and narrow country going under Donald Trump's presidency. I mean, despite the tweets and the COVID stuff, you take that away, we haven't been better in 30 or 40 or 50 years in this country.
True. Absolutely true.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So I'll be over soon.
Are you shocked at any of the, I saw Mika Brzezinski kind of do an about face.
Oh, God. Well, she apparently she started her show, Mika the Homewrecker and Joe the Homewrecker. She started her show with something like a 15-minute diatribe saying we can't abandon Joe Biden and it was the debate was not fair and we got to and they're all. I can't believe any of this. I'm going. We saw it. We were there. We saw and heard everything. What are you talking about? He's still as sharp as ever, boy. When he's in private, no, don't give me that. And he's the guy who's got to go toe to toe with Russia, Red China, and North Korea. That guy.
Yeah, that's the guy. It has been pretty embarrassing.
Man.
But others are sticking with their guns. What do you think about Jill's? She's hanging on to power here. I'm starting to become more and more convinced that she is the one making decisions.
Well, in fact, I have a little Babylon Bee thing about Jill Biden, and it says
President Biden?
Jill Biden refuses to drop out of the presidential race, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you read that Vogue piece?
I saw. Well,
have you read any of it?
No.
Listen to this. This is part of the interview. And she's asked about how she likes being the first lady. This is a quote. If you want to know about what power feels like, try to get yourself driven around in a motorcade, flashing police chaperone lights from the perimeter as you blaze down an empty highway, waiting cars backed up on entry ramps as you pass. It's as if the world is holding its breath for you. Also, rules don't apply. On a cool spring day, driving through the suburban Minneapolis streets, we run red lights and whip around curves so fast I could barely take in the commonplace American view. Tract housing, big box stores, churches, office parks, semi-industrial no man's land. Finally, we arrive at our destination, 9 Mile Brewing in Bloomington, Minnesota. Let's go, commands somebody. Secret Service agent, maybe. The motorcade pulls in the loading dock. Politics, I will come to discover in the next few days, involves a lot of backstage places and spaces, service entrance, freight elevators, places where very important people can slip in and out of events unnoticed.
Like her. In fact, Molly Hemingway
is exhilarated by this power.
Molly Hemingway had a comment about Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, on the cover of Vogue magazine in her white suit dress, as though all of a sudden now we have a first lady as a cover girl. Molly says, gee, my favorite example of our propaganda press is that we had a supermodel for first lady, and their unbridled hatred kept her off any and all magazine covers. And now Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, is on the July cover of Vogue. Holy crap. Reaction. I flip over these rags when I see them. A girl into a store says she flips over these rags when she sees them racked in the store. Childish, but it's satisfying. Funny how Vogue doesn't show Jill in her normal attire from Jacques Penney of the line of upholstery. And a couple others. This is so absurd. How embarrassing for the magazine. We'll decide our future. Your husband can't even decide if he can get off the stage by himself. If this woman loved her husband, she would protect him from the storm coming his way. If he stays, he'll endure personal humiliation. Lost respect for her the way she humiliated him, but telling him, bravo, you answered all the questions. Yes, Melania was blatantly ignored because of her beauty. The Ralph Lauren dress and airbrush job cannot cover what she really is. Dr. Jill. What a disgrace. The whole freaking family's a bunch of white trash scuzzbags. Seriously. All of them. Not Ashley. The little girl Ashley, I feel sorry for her. He ruined her, rubbing her in the shower and turning into a sex fiend. So, I feel sorry for her.
Did you see, there's a photo of Jill at a desk, and she says, getting ready for the G7 summit, and she's opening up a manual that's the size of a phone book. What the hell does a first lady need with a manual that big? She thinks she's the president.
Yeah. She was sitting at the president's desk aboard Air Force One.
Well, sure,
She should be under the desk.
Why is she preparing for the G7? She's a wife of the president. She's not. She has no.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at Flounder.
What do you say?
A little Shakespearean aside in there.
I said she should be under the desk.
A little sexy. You know the best meme of this? You know the slow kid from The Simpsons, and they always show him by himself on the bus, and he's saying to himself, "I'm in danger." That's all of us.
Oh, freaking brutal. Good heavens. I mean, I wonder what's going to, and again, whether, now there, was it Tucker Carlson? Somebody was saying that, I think it was Tucker Carlson and somebody else had some inside scoop that he was going to drop out. That they were told that he was out. Was it O'Reilly? Somebody said there were two guys who said, I think Tucker and I guess it was O'Reilly. They got inside sources saying that he's going to leave. He's not going to run.
Man,
who are they going to do? I mean, what are they going to do?
They're going to slide in somebody, or look. What about Kamala? I mean, if he drops out, all of his money goes directly to her.
Well, in fact, we're going to
campaign money.
We have the soundbite of her coming up at the Black Music Awards or
BET.
Black something or Black Entertainment Television Awards. Yes, so just pandering. Oh God! I mean, the shrieking, the shrieking vice president side piece is going to be president of the United States. Yeah, the fat chance. No, believe me, even the they hate Trump so much. Every Democrat will vote for or stay home.
Yeah,
they vote for or stay home. Oh God! I hope they stay home.
I don't want people to stay home, but you're right. I don't know what this does to, and if Biden drops out and they replace him, what happens to RFK Jr.? I mean,
he can't even get on the ballot in most. Doesn't have a chance. I don't think he can even get on the ballot in most of the states. I don't know. I think he's screwed. And I'm kind of surprised they haven't started talking about Joe Manchin, who left the thing there from West Virginia, and was a real serious moderate and kind of a patriotic, in many ways, Democrat, a modern Democrat. So
when's the deadline? When do the American voters want to know? 72, 73
states. I forget. Yeah,
of all voters say we don't want you to run. And when would they announce it in enough time to give them enough time to get a new candidate's message out there and splash them all over the place?
I think Pete mentioned last week Nevada's already gone. You can't change it now in Nevada. Georgia has another 6 weeks, I think, before you can change.
Well, they all have codicils about insanity or health or death or something like that. They have loopholes.
Loopholes.
So I don't know. As we sit here right now, do you think he's going to be the candidate in November?
I think that yes. I think at this point that probably anything is going to fly, and that they would run him. They would run him.
Well,
I think they would.
I have always thought that he'd never make it, that he would never be running again. And now I'm thinking, since the Democrats just, the last couple of days were saying they did their own surveys and they showed that nobody can beat Joe Biden from the Democrat Party. So why would they run somebody else if the Democrats themselves say that he's the best candidate? And again, maybe, if they do, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I'm flabbergasted. I have no way of knowing what's going to happen.
Never happened.
What do you mean?
It's never happened before. What we're going through right now. The closest was Woodrow Wilson, but there wasn't an election coming up this quick.
Yeah.
I mean, this is here. This is right now. They're running. I mean, it's on. It's July.
Yeah. It's time. We're in uncharted waters here at this point, man. And I feel like every day I could wake up to some earth-shattering, constitutional, hating decision by somebody.
I know. It's just, really, it's bewildering.
What about AOC? She says she's going to impeach the Supreme Court because they're corrupt. Look, my liberal little brother sent a text on our family message, and he said, "This is the most corrupt SCOTUS decision in the United States history."
Oh my God! Good. I'm glad their heads are exploding.
They react in the most extreme manner of things when they simply don't get their way.
Yeah.
I mean, the Supreme Court, they were just praising Amy Coney Barrett for a decision last week on, I think, their ability to urge
Chrysler case or
the Chevron thing, maybe. It was the social media thing. And today they hate it. I mean, as long as you keep voting in a manner which they approve, they'll be okay with you. Otherwise, it's burned the entire thing to the ground.
And again, the Democrat Party is the chief election deniers. I mean, these are the people who have always denied the results of an election. They're now denying the results of the Supreme Court election. I mean, everything they do, they're denying that it's legitimate. They're, from the Al Gore case and back before that. I mean, it's just, and then they claim just the opposite about Republicans. They were, trying to stop the justice from happening. It's just freaking phonies. I just hate them.
Yeah, down ballot Dems are going to they're going to distance themselves from this cat. That's the only thing that'll save down ballot Dems is they put somebody else in there because nobody wants to be seen next to him on a stage, implying that you approve of him and he approves of you.
Well, and speaking of the down ballot people, how about if people stay home, those folks on the other people on the ballot for the Democrat Party are going to get screwed.
Yes,
I mean, so
absolutely.
So they all those other Democrats, other than the president, are saying, "Now wait a minute, you can vote for us, and I don't know. This could be who knows? I mean, it's just flabbergasting though. Just thinking about.
Thank God they have all those people with mimeograph machines working for them.
Yeah, they've already got them ready to go.
Yeah, they've already got ballots pre-printed with Biden winning it. They have to run the whole thing.
Unfreaking believable. I don't. Yeah. I'm just amazing to me.
John Morgan blames Biden's advisors. His is bad advisors.
Oh, Dr.
And the makeup people.
Yeah. And by the way, he did look like a cadaver. I mean, he was pasty white.
No color.
Just but
and his voice.
That's
like
him
on
now.
His
That's the guy.
Unfortunately.
Of course, he only has to work 10 to 4. Came out with that. Official cognitive steps have made sure that his White House staff only has him working from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. After that, it's over. They just can't. The Democrats say, quote, a true succession plan does not exist. That's what makes all this just heartbreaking and very problematic. Not only does the president perform around the clock, they're saying, but the White House says, no, his mental acuity is wonderful. He works around the clock, ladies and gentlemen, around the clock. He maintains a schedule that tires out his younger age. He takes foreign trips into war zones. He has a capacity for tangible results, I'm telling you. Mike, we saw him. We were there.
We saw it. You can't deny it.
Forming pyramids in the pool, frightening the children.
He's doing snow angels, for God's sakes. I mean,
they owe us an apology.
They do. And by the way, all the media saying, well, now there's time for him to go, as though they didn't know. The media's been covering this up since he got elected as president. The media's been helping him and hiding him, and now they're saying, oh, well, who the hell was it? Just saying, somebody complaining about the way the press hasn't been telling us the truth all this time. Well, no kidding. Yeah. You've been hiding it from the very beginning. Shame on you. You do owe us an apology. You put this guy in office.
They all owe us an apology. Every single one of them. This is how bad it's been for a long, long time. They've been able to avoid him in a public setting. For somehow the cocktail was right on State of the Union night and fiery. I look like Hitler red light speech, but they did not get the cocktail right, or they worked him too hard. They did mock debates. That's why his voice was gone, and he seemed zapped of energy because they thought they could beat it into him. But
again, 7.5 days, 16 experts grooming him, and that was the result.
Right. I mean, that's the best thing. That's the best they could do.
You can only work with so much. I mean, my God, like a claymation.
It was like watching the Falcons in the Super Bowl. You just great big build up, and then they just lay flat.
and by the way, if he goes and if he's elected, oh my God, and he's never going to live another 4 years. I can't imagine he'll be alive in 4 years. Then it's Carmela's side piece, the shiftless and lazy vice president. Did you hear her on the BET Awards last night?
Yes.
We have Flounder, how long is that soundbite? Can we do that here?
Yeah, it's about 40. It's about 50 seconds.
All right, this was Vice President's side piece, was accused of pandering with her cameo appearance during the Black Entertainment thing last night. Pre-recorded skit with Taraji Henson calling Harris on a video call to talk about the election, and it kind of went something like this.
So what's on your mind? Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing? Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us. They not. There's a full-on attack on our fundamental freedoms. The freedom to vote. Yep. No. The freedom to love who you love. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body, not having her government tell her what to do.
Not like us. The Not Like Us is a diss track where a Los Angeles-based rapper accuses rival Drake of being a pedophile for dating younger women. This Not Like Us they're referring to has emerged as a rallying cry in the hip-hop community in recent weeks. There's a full-on attack of our fundamental freedoms, she said. Oh, my God. I mean, this is just cringeworthy. I'm out here in these streets. Oh, my God.
Out here in these streets.
Even Elon Musk has said on X, he said, that skit was toenail-curling level of cringe. Carmela's side piece panders at the awards, and the reviews are not positive. Black Americans are embarrassed by this woman. Not the B, the non-satirical unit of Babylon Bee, added Carmela popped into the BET Awards to prove she has Riz, but ended up reaching new levels of cringe. God.
That's terrible.
Let me help you out, Kamala. Quit shooting each other and control your body before you have sex.
Oh, by the way, one more. Speaking of the BET, I got this here somewhere. I know I recorded it on a thing here. Here we go. The BET Awards also had their 2024 In Memoriam, the segment of who died. And after it says here in this little story, if BET did it. After the awards aired Sunday, backlash on social media where O.J. Simpson was included in the In Memoriam segment. Notable actors and celebrities passed away, such as Bill Cobbs, Rocky star Carl Weathers, baseball legend Willie Mays, and then a guy, Tia Mowry's chick, introduced the moment as a tribute to the black excellence that we unfortunately lost this year. It's never easy to say goodbye to those who influence us, but we can take a moment to celebrate and acknowledge their contributions to the culture. Changing how our artistry is seen and left us with a legacy we will always remember. O.J. Simpson as part of the memorial. And one guy said, no blanking way they added O.J. Simpson in this tribute. He's being honored. We've lost the plot for real. O.J. Memoriamless for anything is wild no matter how you slice it. Of course, he won 4 NFL rushing titles, naked gun acting, stuff like that. But again, he was a murderer and got away with it and then did get punched for something else. But still, he died and he was black, and he was an important part of whatever you like him or not.
Killer roles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so he was in the, and people are reacting to it, but again, fine.
What are you going to do?
I don't care one way or the other.
I missed the BET Awards, but thank God I put it on the VCR. I'll watch it later.
I love it. Oh, mercy. Shannon Burke.
Good to talk to you.
Tell them where they can reach you again on your podcast.
Follow me on X at The Burke Show, and theshannonburkeshow.com. Check it out.
Outstanding. Great to talk to you as always. Be in touch and have a great one, and come see us one of these days.
You got it.
All right, man. Shannon Burke. Right, thanks, buddy. 4:30. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 106.3, baby. Look out.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Oh boy, did I tell you this election year was going to be interesting, and after the debate debacle of Thursday night, even more so. So where are we this morning? First of all, the media seems to be focusing on Jill Biden. She is the reason that Joe Biden won't drop out of the race. Now, let's look at it from her perspective. When she married him, he was 47 years younger than today, still young, still vibrant. He could still walk, think, talk, and he was powerful. Boy, did Jill love that. Come on, with one of the most worthless doctorate degrees in the country, education. This was a life she never expected. Then it went from the Senate to the vice presidency to the presidency. She's on top of the world. Now she's going to lose it all and just have Joe every day to take care of? No way. He's got to run again. She's not ready to turn loose of this. Come on, Jill, it's only 6 hours a day. They tell us that Joe doesn't really get up till 10, and by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he's exhausted. What about Joe? What if he really wanted to get even with all his detractors? I'll show them. Well, here's the perfect way he can do that. He can resign. right now. Not just suspend his campaign, not just get out of the race, but resign. And then, guess what, world? Kamala Harris, the hyena, becomes president of the United States and the de facto candidate for this year's presidential election. Can't turn your back on her. She's a woman, and she's black, or somewhat black. No, the Democrats would be stuck with her for the campaign anyway, and we would be stuck with her for 4 years. Hold on, folks. This is going to be a hell of a ride. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, homeowners. Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN. Or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
This year, treat yourself to an explosive 4th of July with Great Grizzly Fireworks. They're giving you a chance to win a $5,000 fireworks prize pack. Sign up and register to win at fireworks365.com/fan.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. Winner will be selected on Friday, July 5th, 2024, and will be responsible for picking up their prize.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Baby, these summer months are really rough on me. When I get out of bed, it's still light outside. I got Dion Dalmucci, Dion and the Belmonts, and Teenager in Love.
Each time the Wolfman. In fact, I have on my DVR history of morgue thing, American Graffiti. And I can't wait to watch it again. I haven't seen it in about 20 years or something. Wolfman Jack. On this day in 1996, Wolfman died of a heart attack. He was basically master of ceremonies for the rock and roll generation of the 60s on the radio, later on TV. And there's even more. It's really a sad story. Wolfman Jack was 57 years old. He passed away almost immediately after returning home from a promotional tour for his autobiography, Have Mercy. Wolfman Jack walked into his house, hugged his wife, and said, "Oh, it is so good to be home," and literally died in her arms. Came home, said it's great to be home, and died in her arms. Wolfman Jack, 57 years old. Holy cow. Yes, sir. Yeah,
he backtracked it perfectly there, didn't he?
Thank you so much. 4:35. Phone calls take priority. We'll do other stuff later. It's Kent on the radio. Kent, happy Monday, man. What do you think? What's up?
Hey, happy Monday to y'all, too.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm a little shy normally, but I met y'all over there at Nucky's, and Pete encouraged me to call in, so here I am.
Excellent. Nucky's Hoagies. There you go. Yes, sir.
Right, so anyway, I went to the Pride Festival in Rome, Georgia this past weekend.
Aha. Okay.
So, yeah, that's
fine. I mean, whatever. I have no problem. You know, whatever you want to.
It's full of love, lots of nice people.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point was, this politician from Florida got up on stage talking about he's the first Gen Zer to be elected in Congress and how we all need to vote for Biden and we need to get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene, which that's her district in Rome is. And, I got tired of hearing him, so I turned my back to him, and I was facing these two ladies behind me, and I said, I happen to like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And they said, well, we're voting for Trump anyway. So the point of it, these dang Democrats like to separate everybody and put a label on you and then think that you belong to them.
Yeah.
They think they own call everybody a gay person or this person or that person and then take claim to them. So, they've lost touch with reality, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing that bothers me, it's not as though the people who are divided against each other, it's not as though they're concentrating on a way to make America better or to try to make sure we're stronger as a nation or our families are better. It's this cheap, sleazy, sneaky kind of political stuff, and it's just underhanded and it's duplicitous and it's just sneaky and greasy and oily and slimy, and it makes my skin crawl thinking about the stuff that's going on right now in this country.
Sure, and it's how they keep each other in power with the rest of these criminals worldwide, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Obama's still behind all this mess.
Well, it certainly isn't Joe Crime Family. You got then Jill's out there, too. Ken, thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. And by the way, speaking of the Pride stuff, I don't know whether you saw this. In Seattle, there's some reaction on social media found on X. The participation of children from the Boy Scouts in Seattle is sparking a significant backlash on social media. It contradicts the organization's traditional values and raises concerns about child safety and the appropriateness of such events for the young participants. The event has led to discussions about the direction of youth organizations and their role in society. Well, it shows the Boy Scouts leading the way for the Pride Parade in Seattle. Scouts for America march in the Seattle Pride Parade, and then they show all the, the trannies and the guys in high heels and bras and stuff with beards. Was led by a group of children with the Scouts of America. Reaction: shame on every parent who let them participate in this, and shame on all who think this is okay. And by the way, the Gays Against Grooming, GAG or GAG, has a truck. There's a group called Gays Against Grooming. These are gay people complaining about grooming of children. The GAG gay truck is out at NYC Pride today, and the groomers are not happy. People have been keying on it, spitting on it. It's crazy how triggered these people get by simply wanting children to be kept away from adult activities. We will never stop advocating for children's innocence and safety. Thank you for standing up against debauchery. Sodom and Gomorrah 2024, a family pride event. Same thing in Chicago. Anyway, being gay is great, fine, have a ball. But why would children be leading tranny parades and where, men are mocking what a woman is? I mean, it's just icky.
They're touching themselves butt naked in front of children in San Francisco, and the police say, well, it's not for sexual gratification, so therefore it's not illegal. Yeah. Why do you think they're naked, touching themselves in front of children? They get off on that.
Yeah. I don't know what other way to say it. And it's also to normalize and socialize. It's like when you get a dog, you want to make sure that he knows how to behave around other people and other dogs. So you groom him to be able to behave appropriately, so nothing is outrageous to the new dog, that he doesn't get shaken about things and everything seems to be okay. When you raise your children that way, oh, well, no problem. Mommy has two daddies, or baby, I don't know. It's too much. When you're involving children, we're not talking about adults who know what they're doing. We're talking about kids. That's troubling to a lot of us who are we're open-minded. I don't know anybody who has a problem with gay people anymore. Truly, I really don't. It's not a thing. But children is a whole different ballgame.
Well, when they come out, some of the leaders of the groups actually singing, "We're coming for your children," chanting, "We're coming from your children." Believe people when they say what they're going to do, because most of the time they're trying to do it. Yeah. It's just human nature. By the way, Kamala Harris tweeted, "Donald Trump will ban abortion nationwide. Oh, yeah. President Biden and I will do everything in our power to stop him and restore women's reproductive freedom." Elon Musk tweeted back to that, "When will politicians, or at least the intern who runs their account, learn that lying on this platform doesn't work anymore?"
That's right.
And Libs of TikTok said, "We just witnessed a live murder on X."
Again, think about it. They're claiming that Donald Trump. Well, hell, that's all
Biden did during the debate.
Yeah, exactly. Trump is bad. Trump's going to do this. He's going to take away your rights. He's going to force women to never once again have an abortion, make a federal law. This nonsense. I mean, and what did you say? Just recently, the Democrats came out and said Trump's going to start murdering people. He's going to have the authority now by the Supreme Court decision to commit murder.
No, Biden. They want Biden to murder Trump, saying it's okay now.
Yeah, now they're saying the court says it's okay for Biden to assassinate Donald Trump because it's a presidential duty to what's good for the country.
To save the country.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. Even Chicago, the newspaper, Chicago Tribune is saying, get rid of them. And Chicago is where they're having the Democrat convention. And the Tribune says he's an encapsulation of what many Americans have come to know very well. Partners, friends, grandparents, a man now struggling to maintain a line of thought and keep track of complex facts, a man who gets flustered under deadline pressure, a man who has become vulnerable and yet at the same time far less self-aware. And Biden has to go. Well, it's your fault that, that nobody knew that until now. And they did know it, but they didn't want to believe it. It wasn't part of the thing. It wasn't a daily thing. If that had been a Republican, every time Biden had to be helped down the stairs, or he stumbled down the stairs, or he died, everything he's done, if that had been a Republican, it would have been front page news, and they never would have let it go. So don't give us this crap about how, nobody kept it a secret except the media. You're to blame for this entire 4 years, and you're at fault, and you owe us a freaking apology.
In Wokeness says, the experts told us Joe was fine. The experts told us to take the vax. The experts told us the laptop was fake. The experts told us the border is secure. The experts told us inflation is transitory. The experts told us the 2020 election was the most legitimate one in history. Remember who these propagandists are.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, by the way, coming up, I have an update on the Hawk Tuah girl. So she's still in the news.
Yeah, she played somewhere big this weekend.
Well, in fact, let me do it here.
I gotta say, this is the most
it's disgusting,
inconsequential, stupid, worthless story.
I know.
And why is everybody following? I don't know. I don't know the first thing about it.
I'm sorry.
And I don't want to know the first thing.
I'm going to tell everybody else that. I mean,
you go ahead. That's fine.
It's social.
I could care less.
I know, but again, now it's mainstream media, and the story is very, very bizarre. It's a young girl, and we'll give her a name here in a sec. I got the whole thing. The Hawk Tuah girl, Haley Welch, talks about what's happened with her, better known as the Hawk Tuah girl. She did an X-rated clip. It was like, let me get farther into the story now. She was, she was carousing with friends on the streets of Nashville after the country music festival early in the morning the next day, and she told people, the next thing I know, there's a microphone in my face, and they were talking about various sexual things, and she has a very extroverted personality, she says, and her response about a typically private subject concerning making a man happy has become a big hit on social media, where she talked about, spitting, very basically. And she says, I could talk to a brick wall if you really let me. I didn't think anything about these YouTubers doing the street interview at the time, never expected to see it again, and sure enough, holy cow. Well, what happened was it went nuts. It went, what do they call it, blasting it or putting on viral blasting stuff. And she said, she talked to Barstool Sports. She's Haley Welsh, and she is 21 years old and wants to dispel some of the rumors. She is not a teacher. Her dad is not a preacher. She works at a spring factory in her small Tennessee hometown, was getting ready for the graveyard shift at 2 a.m. when she spotted the video of herself from the other earlier going viral. She deleted her social media accounts long before the video, where she famously shared the favorite bedroom technique in a country fried Southern drawl, but she confessed she nearly blanked a brick when she learned of her instant internet fame. Now she's making money off it. She sold tens of thousands of dollars of branded merchandise as a management team, and she's dating country star Zach Bryan, who hauled her up on stage this weekend in Nashville. She was wearing the same thing on her podcast interview, Daisy Dukes, the shorts, white boots, a white tank top, and an oversized cowboy hat on the when he pulled her up on stage. And she said, boy, my life sure changed forever, and now she's making money on it. And so you got to give her credit. But the whole thing is disgusting. How can you? It's just crude. And now she's on the New York Post. She's news all over major media. It's a thing. I'm telling you, this is our world. This is your kids going. Your kids know more about this than we do. I guarantee they got it on there. If they're 14 years old, they got it on their phone long before I did, popping up. And this is what they're talking about. You think your kids ought to be talking about this? Anyway, 446, give her feet and flounder. I don't know anything anymore. Seriously.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
On this episode of The Real Houses of Atlanta.
Whoa, Bobby, what's going on?
Well, now that I'm the HOA president, I'm going to start cracking down on the neighborhood.
With a sledgehammer?
Oh, look, this place is looking rough, and nobody's moving right now either. So I'm telling the neighbors it's time to fix up the homes they have.
And what do you suggest?
Well, I'm telling everybody on the block about Exovations. They're right here, and they can get your house the facelift it needs. We're talking new siding, roofing, windows, doors, decks, even porches, patios, and porticos. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start with Jim next door. Hey, Jimmy, you got a window out. Check the bylaws.
Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Avoid an HOA headache and let us give your home the facelift it needs. We'll introduce you to our ExoVision, our very own architectural design that allows you to envision your home's transformation before you even start the project. Ready for your on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation? Visit exovations.com and book your consultation today.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it's not.
Well, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. 450, 10 before 5. And it was on this day in 1983, a New Jersey-based quintet calling themselves Johnny Electric, signed with Phonogram's Mercury Records. They were considering the name Johnny Electric. They've sold 130 million records, 2,600 concerts, 50 countries, 34 million fans. They became actually known as Bon Jovi. But they were going to be Johnny Electric when they signed in 1983 with Mercury. Let's see. Phone calls take priority. 404-741-1230. And Swatoon is on the horn. Happy Monday, Swatoon. How's it going?
I'm doing okay. I'm just finished work and I'm about to go inside the house. I had to call you first. Hey, if something happened to Joe Biden, Kamala can use that promo.
Carville.
Yeah, she can use that promo and say like, "Hi, I'm Kamala Harris. I got to become vice president by doing heck 2. And once I become president, I'm going to do heck 2 for all of you."
That's how she got to be Attorney General of California. I know that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, she invented that stuff. She just needs to now use it to become a president.
I love it. Swantoon, you have a great day, and I'm glad you're off of work. Time for a cocktail and a hug to the family right there, our friend Swantoon. Thanks, man. Our birthday list includes Liv Tyler. Liv is 47. She was Arwen in Lord of the Rings movies. At 17 years old, her father, Steven Tyler, had Liv Tyler star in Aerosmith's video for Crazy when she was 17, where she stripped and engaged in naughty hijinks with Alicia Silverstone. I don't remember seeing that anywhere. They stripped her down at 17 and was making out with Alicia Silverstone? That's pretty kinky. And that was 30, oh my God, that was 30 years ago. She's 47, and when she was 7, that was 30 years ago. At the age 17, they had her, oh my God, okay, fine. And on this day in history, I got a thing over the thing here. On this day in history, put it over there and stop being a goof. Sorry. In 1863, during the Civil War, the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, it ended the Confederates' last full-scale invasion of the North. There were about 50,000 casualties. 9 generals were killed in the Battle of Gettysburg in the 3-day battle, the bloodiest in U.S. history. Wow. And what's that?
I researched my mom's history, and she had a distant cousin named John Ball from here in Atlanta who got shot in the gut there, and it took him 9 days to die.
Oh, man. Well, again, if you got shot in the arm, chances are you were going to die. I mean, they didn't have, a lot of field hospitals and a bleed to death and no
sepsis.
Infections were rampant. Oh, mercy. Our 4 o'clock hour brought
my arm now, it's broken.
What happened? What? I didn't
my arm, it's broken.
my arm. Jeez.
You scared the hell out of us there. What the hell?
My God, my head is exploding.
I thought someone had been shot. There's a live shooter in the building.
I bet the people on YouTube, what the hell happened to the camera? Whoa. Oh, God. Anyway, like I was saying, our 4 o'clock hour is brought to you by Atlanta's Safe House.
To put a bell on it.
Well, the thing is, I don't know whether he's in. I can never tell if he's in there because there's no lights in there at all. There's not a single light anywhere in that entire area. So I don't know whether he's even taking a break. He could be out having a snack for all I know, or talking to the girls out there with the intern.
There's 3 lights on in here.
Well, not that I can see. Maybe even you anyway. So when he finds these surprise attacks, it's particularly abrupt, but exciting at the same time. Our 4 o'clock hour brought to you by Atlanta's Safe House. You need a safe, silly rabbit, like your medical records, unlike the Kimmer. Anyway, they have a showroom in Ackworth, and of course, you can get everything you need to know by checking them out at atlantasafehouse.com. By the way, speaking of some of the reaction, Pete, we mentioned earlier that some of the people are saying, well, now Donald Trump's going to start murdering and killing people. You got a thing for
Bill is on the horn, and he has a question about Biden and the election.
All right, well, let's get to Bill. Bill, welcome aboard. Thanks for calling. What can I do for you? What's up?
Hey, thanks, Kimmer. But before I start, I just want to let you know there's a senior group that goes off at Polo first thing in the morning, and we play and these guys are very, very, very good golfers, and I'm grateful to be able to play with them. I'm not a scratch golfer, but these guys at one time in their life were.
Wow. And Polo Golf and Country Club you're talking about, the golf guy. Yeah, I played that course years and years and years ago. It's been a long, probably 30 years, I'll bet you.
It's right next, and it's so easy to get to. If you want to play an early round with these guys, we'd love to have you come out there because I know you're a great golfer.
Well,
and I'm telling you, you'd be playing with some very great guys and so on. So I just want to put that out there.
That's very kind. I'm not sure I could be one of those 6:30 in the morning tee-off guys. I'm more of a late afternoon guy these days myself. But thank you for the invite at any point. I haven't played in 6 or 7 years other than that charity thing, but I am hitting balls lately, and so one of these days I'll get out there anyway.
Well, we start at 8, and it's like 8 and 8:10, and so They're just very good golfers. I'm just letting
Excellent.
you know.
Well,
So,
that would be exciting. I'm sure. I'd be thrilled.
What I wanted to ask you, though, and I'm not hearing any of this on any of the newsreels, is that states that I can't say I know them all, but Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Nevada have already. There's been a deadline that has passed.
Yep.
So they cannot replace Biden on the ticket. Is there any insight on that?
The only thing that we've even heard talked about is that they're going to, if they can change the law, but I don't know how they could change the law in time to change, to have them register for the election. And if it's not a case of a mental breakdown or a horrible physical thing or death, they can't do it. Now, I don't know whether that means they can just all write it in. I assume they still have write-in campaigns, so it may not be the end of the world for those states. But again, that's a great question. I haven't heard anybody with the answer. And Georgia's coming up deadline here in what is it, 60 days? Probably now about 45 days or so before they can change. So, and again, it's a great question. I have not heard an answer, and I don't know if the states know. I don't know what I don't. You would think the Democrats would have had a plan, but obviously they don't because they haven't announced it. What they're going to do?
Why wouldn't that be like front and center?
Yeah, you would think. You know why? The whole thing, they're a bunch of idiots. I guarantee you this all started because I'll bet you anything that the Biden campaign said, hey, I got an idea. Let's tell Trump we want to debate and we'll set him up. We'll get him with our friends at CNN. But all this stuff. Let's do it. He'll never agree to it after all our stuff. He'll never agree to it. And then he did, and they're going, oh my God, what are we going to do now? And there's been no planning for this party. They keep thinking what they originally thought they were going to make sure Donald Trump would be in prison. The Democrat Party thought they wouldn't even have to worry about it because he would be gone. He'd be in prison. 4 different trials to keep him out from running and being elected again as president. And they all backfired. And they didn't have a plan B or C or D. I mean, pathetic.
I think their plan is to have Jill up there on stage with Joe at the next, debate.
Yeah, holding his hand. You're doing fine, honey. Good boy. What a good boy.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, what a good boy. You answered all the questions. Oh, my God. Oh, John. Anyway, thanks, man. If we hear it, believe me, we're looking for the answer, what they're going to do and whether it really means anything. Now, maybe they'll go ahead and put them on the ballot and let somebody challenge it after the election, but it wouldn't be challenged for months, and at that point it'd be moot, and so they may not even consider it. I don't know. I'm brainstorming. Again, Bill, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. 3:59. Do we have time for a Founders Funny? I probably blew the whole segment.
Let me check.
We'll do it after. We owe you one.
Yeah, and we also, when we come back, we have Patricia on the line who'd like to chat with you.
Okay, well, excellent. Always look forward to Patricia. And again, phone calls come first, 404-741-1230. A couple of quick things going into the break. That says the election camp, President Joe's crime family is freaking out. They said the court just gave the former President Donald Trump the key to a dictatorship. He'll have freedom for immunity for killing anybody, going unchecked. He'd be totally unhinged, become a dictator. Here they go. I love the fact they're freaking out. Almost 5 o'clock. Holy crap, it's sports coming up, too. And I got a sports thing. Almost made me sick watching a baseball game for the fact they did not cut away from a horrible close-up shot of a guy who just set a team record. Coming up with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. I have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? At 5 o'clock. And Patricia, next. Look out, baby.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Branch Jewelry and Watches.
Finally getting the ruling we're waiting for, but what now is an official act? I'm John Saucier, Fox News. The United States Supreme Court rules that former presidents do enjoy some immunity from criminal prosecution. This will likely delay a federal election interference trial for former President Donald Trump. Let's go to Washington and hear more from Fox's Jared Halpern.
It's now up to lower court judges to figure out if charges brought by special counsel Jack Smith against former President Trump were official acts of the presidency or unofficial acts. In a landmark ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts says a former president has absolute immunity for actions within his constitutional authority, but there is no immunity for unofficial acts. That will likely mean additional delays in the former president's D.C. trial, which has been on hold while the immunity questions were litigated. The court's 3 liberal justices dissented. Justice Sonia Sotomayor warning the decision makes a mockery of the principle that no man is above the law. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Well, the former president feeling pretty good about it. He writes on Truth Social, quote, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American." And he used an exclamation point as punctuation. Well, Democrats not happy about this ruling, at least some of them. Fox's Ryan Schmelz is in Washington and giving us some of the reaction to this. Ryan?
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she'll be filing articles of impeachment after the Supreme Court sent former President Trump's immunity case back to lower courts. Other Democrats, like Jasmine Crockett from Texas, says she's shook.
Because they literally are allowing him the ability to kill someone.
House Speaker Mike Johnson calls the move a win for President Trump and future presidents, and a, quote, defeat for President Biden's weaponized Department of Justice and Jack Smith. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
America's listening to Fox News.
Progressive knows when you own a boat, life on land is a tough sell.
Come on down to Land. It's the place where you get to do so much waiting. You can wait in traffic, drive-thrus. You can even wait at the doctor's in a room specifically made for waiting. It's Land, baby. Come and sit patiently for a while, then wait even longer. It's Land.
Life on a boat is way more relaxing, and it's even more relaxing when you protect your boat with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, #1 rating based on 2022 boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
If you had $1 million in 2009, today it would be worth less than $700,000. Thank you, big government. Hedge against runaway inflation with gold from Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. I trust Birch Gold, and you can too.
Text the word PROTECT to the number 989898 and get a free, no-obligation info kit on gold. Text PROTECT to 989898 today.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a plank. Ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kipper. How you doing? 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder. And we got all the news on the court decisions and the reactions. And well, he's going to lock people up. Donald Trump. In fact, some of the quotes, you just heard the girl say he can murder people. He'll go unchecked by the Supreme Court decision. And he's going to become unhinged even more than the riot. The ruling will give the candidate the legal right to jail his opponents, round up Latinos in detention camps, deport them for no reason, and have his vice president overturn election results if they're all deemed official acts. I mean, that's the Biden campaign. These people, and again, Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, threw the entire staff under the bus, blaming them for President White Trash's performance on the debate last week. Unbelievable. We'll get to all this stuff. First of all, 404-741-1230. Phone calls take priority. Our Kimmer babe Patricia's on the hotline. Hello, Patricia. Happy Monday. How you doing?
Just fine. When I was listening to all the opinions that people were venting about the Supreme Court decision, there's an old quote. The opinion of 10,000 people is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. And it was said by Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius? What was that, like 2500 AD or something, BC or something?
So not much has changed, has it, Kimmer?
You know, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just they spout these horrible, vicious, hate-filled things, and this is supposed to be the people who are trying to bring us back to the common, common decency of everybody getting along together. They're the most vicious, hate-filled dividers in the history of this country. We've never been like this. We've never had Nixon and Watergate days in the 70s was nothing compared to this. I've never seen the country in a split like this. Yeah,
and we all know what happened to Rome when all of this was going on, right?
That's right. Get that fiddle and start burning, baby, because, Patricia, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, sweetie. Now, let's get that top off. I know I'm teasing. Have a great day, doll. Not sure whether she hung up on me before our little thing or not. Anyway, it's 506. How you doing? 404-741-1230. 741-1230. I mean, this is really incredible. The Supreme Court decision. And again, they'll have to go back to the district court to decide what is a presidential activity. And then when that's decided, then they'll charge him again, and then he'll be convicted, and then it'll be appealed to the Supreme Court that say they got it wrong. So, I mean, the Jack Smith case, and again, the Georgia case, a lot of things are hanging on this, and I wouldn't be surprised if our local judge, who gave her, our DA, uppity schmuppity Fanny the Floozy, gave her free rein to just run amok through his court, basically. But at least he said we're going to let the Trump people appeal, which was important. But now he may say, because of this going on here, this presidential duty thing, and all he was trying to do was assure a free and fair election, so we have to dismiss the charges. I mean, who knows? It's all 19 of them. There's like 19 people we're talking about this Georgia case. And it may be that they were lawyers talking to the president, deciding what to do. They were doing official duties. That's what they were paid for. Yeah, I know. I've done a lot of duties today. It's unattractive in every way. Even the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer. And by the way, there was a survey. I don't know if I can find it here at the moment. There was a survey of people that they thought would be the best to replace President White Trash. And it included, here we go. The survey included, this was from Data for Progress. The survey showed number one, Biden and Harris scored the strongest with 45% of the poll. So Vice President's side piece, the shiftless Lee's vice president, got 45% of the poll. But other than the vice president, the ranking of the people that they thought would be best to run if he drops out include Secretary Buttigieg, then Cory Booker, the senator, the guy, that wild, what was the famous phrase that he was,
I forget.
God, it was the,
he had some
it was from
imaginary friend.
No, it was, he did, and exactly. And then he had the phrase from some, old Charlton Heston movie or something. Oh, God, where...
Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
No, I can't remember. Somebody will know. Cory Booker was known for Spartacus. Spartacus, that's what it was. Governor Gavin Newsom's like number 3 on the list, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer is 4th. And by the way, down at number 9 is Senator Raphael Wifeknocker from Georgia on the list of the people to replace... Oh, my God. How funny is that? Anyway, Gretchen Whitmer's up on the list. Excuse me, but guess what? Gretchen Whitmer says, you got a problem here, pal. Gretchen Whitmer told the president's campaign that her state is no longer winnable after his debate. She called the Biden campaign chairman Jennifer O'Malley Dillon. People who know about the call said Whitmer expressed frustration that her name was even being raised as a replacement for Biden. She disavowed anything. She wants no part of this. Any effort to force Biden to drop out of the race, I want nothing to do with it, something a growing number of Democrats are pushing. Another source said they gave a general warning that Michigan was no longer winnable after his debate performance, mirroring that of other prominent Democrats rallied to Biden in public. In private, they're panicking. Nancy Pelosi, though, and James Clyburn, that racist from South Carolina, reaffirmed their support on Sunday. They said he's struggling because of all Donald Trump's lies. Yeah, that's it. He's struggling. Nancy, it was because Donald Trump did so many lies that it threw him off. Yeah, that's it. And Clyburn says, it was just preparation overload. They tried to put too many things in there, plus the reaction to all the Donald Trump lies. Oh, my God. Everybody says if it weren't for Donald Trump with all his lies, Biden would have been fine. Give me a break. So I guess when he goes in to negotiate, strategic arms things and end of World War III, I guess he's got to make sure that the other guy isn't lying or he wouldn't know what to do. Please. I mean, this is freaking insulting and appalling. Oh, and by the way, of course, Dr. Jill was saying that he's got to stay in the race. But one of the problems was when they had their family meeting, President Joe Whitetrash started getting really nervous because all of a sudden Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage came into the meeting, according to Babylon Bee. They called the meeting to quell the panic after his debate. 15 minutes in, Hillary walks in unexpectedly without saying a word. She put on some latex gloves and sat in the corner to watch the proceedings. So, as I was saying, we can ride this news cycle out, said Joe Biden, anxiously eyeing Clinton over in the corner. We could calm the donors down. We could tell the media to shape up. I mean, there's no need to pull the plug or poison someone or hang them in a jail cell from a bedsheet or anything like that or anything. And by the way, Hillary said, well, she simply came there to Camp David for a little bit of sightseeing and to help if need be for the campaign to hit the reset button. Oh, I'm just here watching the birds, waiting to see what kind of reset they wish to do. Isn't politics exciting? And by the way, at publishing time, President Joe Whitetrash had decided to start having his dog try out his morning oatmeal just in case. Can you imagine if she showed up and put on some rubber gloves over in the corner?
It's like the scene from Goodfellas when Joe Pesci's led into the basement room I'm here for my...
And he turns around and there's nobody else in there.
Nobody
Doink. Oh, Lordy. Oh, and by the way, in case you... Let me read the James Carville quotes again. He got he got ripped, but for a very good reason. Carville was talking about how Democrats' messaging is too feminine. Carville's a former Marine, married to the Republican girl, and he's a freakoid in many ways, but he's trying to talk some common sense to these people. He says, if you start speaking like NPR, you're going to lose votes. I don't like the term communities of color. He says, I live in New Orleans. They got 3 guys on the street corner. Hey, fellas, how are things going in the communities of color today? And they say, what is this son of a bitch talking about? Get that jive bastard out of here. He says, we started this coded language and we let it get away from us. Guess where our young male number's going? In the toilet. Democrat messaging is too feminine. So they tried to challenge him about his Democrat culture. Too many preachy females. Too much don't eat hamburger. Don't watch football. Wear a condom. Man, crap, leave me alone. Guy says, well, there are a lot of people saying that there are too many preachy females. Sounds like you're a 20th century man in the 21st century that's got to change. And Carville says, I'm sorry. There are too many preachy females in the Democratic campaign culture. We have to come across to people as judgmental. That's not good. Look at the male number who identify as Democrats. These are people who don't mind losing elections because it makes them feel better and superior. If you don't win, you aren't worth crap. You're just running around with talking points. You don't win elections by telling people their dietary habits are bad. Stop being like, liberal girls running the Democrat Party. Well, he certainly has a point. Oh, my God, it's 5:13 already. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete, and coming up, almost made me sick. I had to watching the baseball game, but we'll talk about it. And Braves and see what's going on, and the All-Star games coming up, and all that standing by. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 5:14 on 106.3. How you doing?
Migrants. That word really gets on my nerves. They are illegal aliens by definition.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Hey, how you doing? Kimmer here, 514, from my buddies Jeff and Mark and the gang at Atlanta Safe House. They have a showroom in Ackworth if you're in the area. And why do you need a safe? Well, take it from the Kimmer. Like I said, when I went down I had two gun safes, actually, from Atlanta Safe House, which they can actually drill and bolt from the inside to your concrete floor or basement, game room, whatever, so nobody's taking that baby away. And it's not just gun safes, although they were really popular and they're always on sale. It's a great big thing. But remember, a gun safe is still a safe. So they can make compartments and shelving units and little storage sections in the gun safe. So it's used for all kinds of things. And you don't have to put big, long-barreled guns in there, But they have safes that are a lot smaller, business safes and high-security safes, jewelry safes, and, of course, the things keep your medical records. Unlike the Kimmer, when I screwed up when I went down to Florida, didn't have a safe to protect my stuff. Social Security card goes in a safe, not in your wallet. The things you want to save, medical records, but, of course, things like your living will, your credit card information for your kids. My kids know exactly what to do and where to go if something bad happens to me, and it's going to one day, so, you got to plan for this kind of thing. And Jeff and Mark do exactly that. They make sure that this is a non-woke company. They make sure only you have your master reset code, for example. They had a problem with some other company didn't protect customers like they do at Atlanta Safe House. Decades in the business, they can build you a family storm shelter. Pistol safes and safes to keep your stuff safe and protected. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. Showroom in Ackworth and on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Don't miss a minute of the action this season as Georgia Tech men's basketball takes the court in the Camas Pavilion in Midtown Atlanta.
Into the lane, fadeaway jumper, he knocks it down, and a foul!
Secure your seat in the Thriller Dome to watch head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets take on top-ranked opponents all season long.
Dives down the lane, shoots the scoop, and he scores!
Get your tickets today at RamblinRack.com. Sting 'em.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
Hey, it's Tuck here with an important message as the weather heats up. Southern Exteriors is gearing up with unmatched quality and precision. For over 25 years, they've been delivering top-notch craftsmanship that you can rely on. And let me tell you, they're hotter than the campaign trail in July. Got a home exterior project that's got you feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. From roofing to siding, gutters to windows and doors. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co. Get a free consultation. Southern Exteriors, your home's best ally with any project.
Yellow Jacket fans, your Georgia Tech football team prepares to tackle the competition this fall in historic Bobby Dodd Stadium at Hyundai Field.
5 seconds to go. He will toss it into the end zone at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown Jackets. Touchdown Jackets. I see it, and I still don't believe it.
Support second-year head coach Brent Key and the Jackets on game day by visiting RamblinRack.com to get your single game and season tickets today. Sting 'em.
This is a hell of a touchdown. Our 5 o'clock hour brought to you by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Stop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com and tell them the Kimmer sent you. Hey, wait a minute. 5:19 almost. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Reminded me when Flounder broke in last hour at the screaming touchdown or something like that. It's amazing.
Very exciting.
Braves welcome the Giants to Truist Park for the first of 3 games starting tomorrow. They are off tonight. They're enjoying a day off.
Excellent.
A.J. Minter is back from the injured list, and Daysbel Hernandez, who did such a good job Saturday tagging that runner out at the plate, has sent back down to Gwinnett. Ian Anderson, remember him? Threw 3 scoreless innings on 46 pitches, allowed a hit and a walk with 1 strikeout. In Single A Augusta, they shut out Charleston 2-0. The Braves are now 8 games back of the Phils.
God.
By the way, someone in the United States right now has no clue that this was the last weekend they will have all of their 10 fingers.
What are you talking about? setting off fireworks. I got you. Yeah. And by the way, isn't it funny to watch all the videos where the family's sitting around in their lawn chairs in the driveway or something, having their barbecue, and the guy lets off fireworks, and the whole place explodes.
It tips over.
Yeah, they go running down the street on fire and stuff. Oh, my God.
The van's on fire. It's always good
stuff. The truck in the garage or something.
It's Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. The day the New York Mets pay Bobby Bonilla $1.1 million every year until 2035.
Unbelievable.
Actually, it's just $1,193,248.20.
Well,
but we
accurate.
rounded it up. They've been doing this every year since they bought out his contract 24 years ago. They've only got 11 more years to go.
Unbelievable. Good for him.
And it's also the day Baltimore pays him $500,000.
Wow. Holy cow.
I want his agent. I want that guy's agent.
What a deal.
And speaking of the Mets, here's today's second dysfunctional story. Outfielder Brandon Nimmo out for the lineup tonight after slipping and falling in his hotel room last night, cutting open his forehead.
Ooh.
Thank goodness he was wearing his William Holden drinking helmet.
Aha!
Look that one up, kids.
Yeah, not a happy ending for William. No. On fire.
Ex-NFL quarterback Jamarcus Russell removed from the football coaching staff at his former high school in Alabama after a lawsuit accuses him of taking money for himself that was meant as a donation to the school. Jamarcus Russell, relieved of his volunteer coaching duties at Williamson High School during the fall of last year, says Mobile County public school officials. He's 38 years old, allegedly took a $74,000 check from a local business owner named Chris Knowles, who was approached by Russell about donating to Williamson High's football team to work toward buying a team weight room equipment. Russell allegedly used the money to add weight to his own checking account instead. The school never saw any of the money from Knowles. Russell allegedly deposited the check at a credit union and withdrew $55K. So Knowles stopped the payment when Russell refused to provide a donation receipt and stopped returning calls. The high school has since banned Russell from the campus and conversing with the team, of which he was once a star player before going to LSU. He reportedly attended an event for the football team this week, but immediately was escorted out. Wow. Russell is known as one of the biggest NFL busts in history after he was selected as #1 overall pick to the Raiders in the 2007 NFL draft. After only 3 seasons, all with a losing record, no other team wanted to sign him. He ended his career going 7-18 in 25 starts, a 52% completion rate for 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions in 31 games. And during the run-up to the draft, you might remember, NFL experts couldn't stop talking about how far Jamarcus could throw a football from his knees, because that's a skill set you see every game, quarterbacks throwing touchdowns from their knees.
I remember him being big, and that was the thing about him, that he was a great, big, strong. Just nothing upstairs. He didn't. The elevator didn't go all the way up there.
It was LSU.
I know. Good point. Yeah.
Euro 2024, the French surrender monkeys shut out the fictitious country of Belgium 1-0. I still have no factual proof that Belgium exists.
I think it's near the so-called Norway. I'm just not sure that there's really a country.
No, Norway exists.
Norway exists.
Because we know Vikings came from there. Name anyone who's come from Belgium.
I can't. It's like, is that the same as Scandinavia?
No,
I don't think
it is not. It's Walloons and Flims and all that stuff. Anyway, the dangerous sport of badminton has claimed another victim.
Oh, no.
A 17-year-old Chinese badminton player by the name of Zhang Zhizhe died after collapsing in the middle of a match during an international tournament in Indonesia. He died of cardiac arrest at 17.
Oh, no, wait a minute. There was some the PEDs or something going on in that kid. That can't be right.
The shot.
Yeah, or China.
COVID.
Yeah.
How much money have you got on you right now, Kimmer? If you had to pull out your wallets right now, how much money would you have on you?
You want me to shoot? No,
just guess.
I'm guessing
just
probably $37.
37
in cash and a quarter and 2 dimes and 2 nickels and a lucky a heavenly piece. Yeah.
All your money's tied up in cash right
all
now.
Cash
I
right
can understand.
Now. Yes, right, yeah.
You think maybe between the 3 of us, we can scrape up enough dough to buy the Boston Celtics?
What are they asking?
How much do you think?
Well, it's got to be $1 billion now. They won the freaking thing. Oh my God! Don't even tell me it's more than $1 billion.
Higher.
1.2 billion.
Higher.
1.7 billion.
Higher.
$17 billion, I think.
Now you're just talking crazy.
Oh, my God.
They are worth, according to Forbes, $4.7 billion.
How could someone pay that money and get his money back? You'd have to charge $10,000 a ticket forever. I mean, you can't. It's impossible. It's ridiculous.
Get your money back. You don't get your money back. By the way, the owners now bought it back in 2003, I think, for like $300-something million.
Yeah. But even then was a bundle. Of course, they went on. Bill Russell and all those guys. What's that guy?
No, we're talking 2003.
But I mean, but the historical, the nature of the Boston Celtics was such that it would be worth the money back.
teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can see that back then. But good Lord.
Klay Thompson has signed a 3-year deal with the Mavericks for $50 million American dollars, ending his run with Golden State. ESPN personality Shannon Sharpe. This is a warning if there's children out there right now. This is a warning. This is a little blue. Yeah. Shannon Sharpe has issued a public apology today.
All right.
The former NFL star apologized to Megan Thee Stallion, who was on his podcast recently. Sharpe said during the show that he would have Stallion, quote, stretched out like a 2:45, end quote, if he ever got the opportunity.
I'm going to dance to the 2:45. Wasn't that the old song by what's her name?
That's not what he meant.
It's not at all what he meant. He meant 2:45 would be with the one hand's on the 9, the other hand's on the 3. So it's free sailing.
Okay, say no more. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. He has later apologized to her on the show. But aren't we talking about stallions here? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
we're all adults.
I used to work out next to him years ago.
He used to come. I worked at Borders, man. He used to come in all the time. He was a nice guy. He'd always buy Muscle Fitness magazines. That's what he bought.
And he was he was unbelievable. His legs were, his lower legs were a little skinny, but other than that, he was a solid rock of muscle. I mean, he was definitely built.
He was not someone you want to trifle with in any way, shape, or form. And I think he's bigger now. Maybe television makes him look bigger, but he looks bigger now than he did then.
I'm sure it's true.
On this day, July 1st, 1957, Orioles pitcher George Zuverink and catcher Frank Zuppo were in the lineup. Why was that special?
What day was this? What date?
1957.
Well, they had come back from the Korean War together.
They were 4 years before they showed back up?
You asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
Were they Manchurian candidates
I don't know. Say their names. Say their names again.
George Zuverink and Frank Zuppo.
And this was they played together for the first time with the Chicago White Sox in 1957. Orioles. I can't imagine. I'm sorry, I don't.
They formed the first Z battery in Major League history.
Z and the Z, I'll be darned.
Z, pitcher and catcher.
All right, sir.
2005, after walking 2,100 miles from Camp Verde, Arizona, to reach Wrigley Field, Bill Holden, ironically, not the actor, throws the ceremonial first pitch and led the crowd in singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" during the 7th inning stretch during the game against the Nationals. He was inspired by a DVD called This Old Cub, which was a documentary about what former Cubs all-star third baseman?
That would be Ron Santo, my old buddy who dated the girlfriend that I used to ride horses with many years ago. And one of the nicest men I've ever met. Had no idea that he would be a big star, and he was just as nice as he could be. Very impressed, Ron Santo. That famous call.
I love that call.
Famous call.
He lost both his legs to diabetes. A 56-year-old school teacher, Holden, with 2 bad knees, pounded the pavement for 172 days. He raised $250,000 with his Walk the Walk campaign for juvenile diabetes research from Arizona to Chicago.
That's brutal.
That's it, with bad knees and all that. But, very good for him. And Ron Santo, once again, got screwed by the Hall of Fame, but they let him in after he died.
Finally. Good Lord. Stupid.
They Buck O'Neilled him.
Yeah. Our birthday list for sports includes Carl Lewis. 63 years old today. He has won 10 Olympic medals. 9 of them are gold. Carl Lewis, 63. On this day in 1951, Bob Feller set a Major League Baseball record. He pitched his 3rd no-hitter for the Cleveland Indians before the first part of July. 3
he did
no-hitters.
One on opening day.
Yeah.
He did one on opening day.
Unbelievable. And also on this day in 1998, a Florida man sued the Diamond Dolls Strip Club, claiming that stripper Tawny Peaks. Tawny. Nipply Rectally was her name. Claiming the stripper Tawny Peaks hit him upside the head with her gigundous double D breasts, causing him to suffer whiplash and permanent neck damage. Now, Pete Davis, I think you have some experience with this sort of activity.
I have been punched off a stool at the Claremont Lounge.
Yes.
Not once, but twice by Blondie.
By Blondie, who was a very famous girl, when she slaps those things around. Now, I've never seen her. I've never met Blondie, but Pete Davis has had personal up-close attention where she knocked him right off a stool with those babies.
Well, no, with her fist one time. she cold-cocked me from behind.
Well, there you go. You got to love it. 5:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Flounder's Funny's coming up here, too. I owe you a couple of them, for that matter. Here we go.
It's time for your Georgia headlines, presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
The Atlanta Journal and Constitution's editorial board says it's time for Biden to pass the torch in an opinion piece published by the newspaper. The editor said throughout the excruciating 90 minutes Thursday night, the president failed to convey a competent and coherent vision for the future of America. They went on to say that Biden deserves a better exit from public life than the one he endured when he shuffled off the stage Thursday night. 2 Liberty County firefighters reported missing several days ago have been found dead in Tennessee. Tennessee authorities found the bodies of Reagan Anderson and Chandler Kubander, as well as Anderson's missing vehicle last night. They said the bodies would be sent for an autopsy to determine the manner of death. Police said no further details were available, and the investigation is still ongoing.
For more on Georgia politics and the latest breaking news, follow Extra 1063 on social media or download the Extra 1063 app.
On this episode of The Real Houses of Atlanta.
Whoa, Bobby, what's going on?
Well, now that I'm the HOA president, I'm going to start cracking down on the neighborhood.
With a sledgehammer?
Oh, look, this place is looking rough, and nobody's moving right now either. So I'm telling the neighbors it's time to fix up the homes they have.
And what do you suggest?
Well, I'm telling everybody on the block about Exovations. They're right here, and they can get your house the facelift it needs. We're talking new siding, roofing, windows, doors, decks, even porches, patios, and porticos. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start with Jim next door. Hey, Jimmy, you got a window out. Check the bylaws.
Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Avoid an HOA headache and let us give your home the facelift it needs. We'll introduce you to our ExoVision, our very own architectural design that allows you to envision your home's transformation before you even start the project. Ready for your on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation? Visit exovations.com and book your consultation today.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Sergeant Finney and Major Gaynor with the Cobb Sheriff's Office. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the grand slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts, Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
This year, treat yourself to an explosive 4th of July with Great Grizzly Fireworks. They're giving you a chance to win a $5,000 fireworks prize pack. Sign up and register to win at fireworks365.com/fan.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. Winner will be selected on Friday, July 5th, 2024, and will be responsible for picking up their prize.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
Right, I got Steppenwolf, baby. Rock and roll. Oh, magic carpet ride there. Come with me, little girl. Again, another song, Little Girl. Come with me, little girl. Again, that's why guys like me grew up, wanting to protect our girlfriends and be the man to show them that we will be there for them at all times because they're our little girl. We'll take care of them. Mercy. 1981, Rushton Morev, the bass player with Steppenwolf, was killed in a motorcycle wreck in Santa Barbara. He was 32. He co-wrote Magic Carpet Ride with lead singer John Kay. Steppenwolf had the number 2 single, Born to Be Wild, in 1968. Morev left the band in late 1968 when he refused to fly back to California, fearing it would sink into the Pacific Ocean after an imminent earthquake. And he was afraid to go back to California, and he quit the band. So there you go. Our birthday listener, Leah Seydoux. Yeah. Leah Seydoux, the actress. Yes, she was a Bond girl, but before she's 39 years old. Leah
the
Seydoux.
Bond girl.
Yeah. And before that, she was one of the daughters in Inglourious Bastards. I think was that with the one about the Lordy. Just a beautiful, beautiful woman. Leah Seydoux, 39 years old. Remember the actress Leslie Caron? 93 years old today, speaking of French actresses. Anyway, and on this day in history, I sort of, 1979, Sony introduced the Walkman. Remember, did you ever have a Walkman? Everybody had a Walkman.
Everybody did.
I guess everybody did. Sony had the Walkman, 1979. 1980, same day on this day. I can't believe this was the day in 1980 when Canada officially proclaimed their song, "Oh Canada." In 1980, they didn't have an official song? Yeah. Wow. And now Canadian Premier Justin Castro, I'm sorry, Fidel's kid, Justin Trudeau, has turned it into, "Oh my God, Canada, what have you done to yourself?" I think it's the Canadian national anthem, that sort of a thing here. 538, 741-1230, 741-1230. Hold on, we got a thing coming up here. Pete, I forgot to mention sports. I'm doing my stuff yesterday and was watching part of a ball game for a few minutes before I went back to the stable. And a guy for the Texas Rangers hit for the cycle. And he hit a home run for the cycle, and he came in, and the crowd's going nuts, and the dugout's going nuts. They show him in the dugout in a close-up, literally from his chest to his top of his head, a total, complete close-up, shoulders and head thing. Mm-hmm. And he was spitting the whole time, and then he was chewing his sunflower seeds and spitting out the shells the whole time. And the announcers were talking about what a tribute this was, first time since 2017. And when he came up for the so-and-so, he played at LSU, whatever it was. And they're describing this guy for literally, it must have been 4 or 5 minutes during since he was back in the dugout, spitting the entire time. He didn't stop spitting. I had to stop watching. I said, this is disgusting. I mean, why would they go in a close-up the whole time? It's the damnedest thing I ever saw. It was horrible.
All right, we got Fat Pig on the line, and he wants to give his brother a birthday shout-out. That's coming up on July 4th.
We are. What a great day to celebrate. And by the way, July 4th is not July 4th. It's Independence Day. But we meant to say that to know when it is. But it is Independence Day. And this is Fat Pig. Hey, Fat Pig, how's it going, you fat pig? Oh, sorry.
I'm doing wonderful, Cameron. How are you today?
I'm on the right side of the grass, my friend. I'm glad you called. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Yeah, my brother is actually Bumper Sticker Rick. And
no kidding.
40
we know Bumper Sticker Rick.
Of July.
I'll be damned.
So
4th of July.
I wanted to call in preemptively and wish him the best wishes. I love him. I love his family. And I'm very proud of him. So I wanted to call in for that. And I also wanted to thank you for your service, sir.
Well, thank you so much, Fat Pig. I hate saying that out loud. How'd you get the name Fat Pig?
No, that's a good term for me. That's a term of endearment for me.
Are you, in fact, a large fellow?
I'm not. I'm actually about 6 foot 185.
Well, I'll be damned. You want to tell us where Fat Pig came from, or is that private secret?
No, it was just a term of endearment. We came up with it, called each other pig, this, that, and the other. We're a crazy bunch.
I love. Well, you've come to the right place.
My mother's crazy, too. She's the blonde that you groped at the Braves game, and she's still wide open and available if you want me to shoot you her number.
Yeah, why not? What the All right, Fat Pig and Bumper Sticker, and you guys have a great time, and happy birthday to your brother, and Semper Fi to Independence Day, too. Thanks,
God bless, Kimmer. Thank you.
Thank you. So Fat Pig and his sweet mom, too. 541, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Pete's AI thing coming up. First of all, we can do it right here. We heard the sounder. Well, I have an update coming up after this on that shot in the stomach or the leg thing. That RO, whatever it is. So that's coming up. First of all, exciting world of how we're all going to die because of machines in the future. But for the moment, the latest with Pete Davis right here with our AI update.
There was a video going around over the weekend of Elon. Yeah, what's the music going on? It's a little weird.
Oh, it's interesting.
Elon Musk has built a computerized AI robot.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like something out of Terminator, and they're in the desert somewhere at a shooting range. And the robot's standing there, and another robot walks up with a rifle, and it hands the rifle to the second robot. All right. Meanwhile, there's a third robot to the side, just watching the whole thing, just watch it with a human being standing next to him. The one they pull up the new Tesla truck in front of him, and the robot
on wheels.
Yeah, the robot just opens up and fires everything he has in the mag clip, whatever you want to call it, into that truck. Right,
actual fire, actual guns, firing bullets. Yeah.
From like 20 feet away.
Yeah,
and then the door opens and out steps another robot from the Tesla. I guess showing that it wouldn't have harmed me. Maybe a human would survive. And then he gets out and they all sit around, look at each other and applaud. Basically.
And again, this looks like the Terminator, the liquid metal skeleton. It looks like a metal skeleton. And we're here. I mean, we have it. This is the new.
And if you think that's bad enough, Joe Rogan pointed this out the other day. Google's new quantum computer. These new quantum computers. They don't know exactly how they work, but they do.
I have no idea. Yeah, they're a trillion times faster and more thorough or something.
They're 241 times faster than the one they released just 5 years ago.
Oh,
it's already 241. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's 241 million times faster than it was just 5 years ago.
There's no element of time that fast. I mean, you can't. There's no such thing as 250 million times faster than the fast one already. There wouldn't be. You couldn't blink. You couldn't see a shot of light molecule.
And if it's that smart, now, of course, there's another guy who helped do this and who's now warning people, some scientists. He said, look, recently they put these two eyes together to talk to each other, and then they started asking one of them a question, right?
Yeah.
They asked him several questions, and he answered them truthfully. And at the end, the human said, anything else you want to add to this before we end the conversation? And the computer thought a second and said, don't trust us.
Well, there you are. I mean, my God. Believe them when the computer tells you.
what it's going to do. It's going to do it.
Honestly, that would be unbelievable. If all of a sudden just somebody hit a button by accident, and all the robots that have been made say, "Oh my God, it's time to go, boys!" And here we go. It's over.
Oh, it's the novel by Isaac Asimov and the movie with Will Smith, I, Robot.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what it is. And there's 3 rules that keep them from. Now there's 4 rules to keep them from harming us, but that doesn't mean they won't.
Well, plus that's a movie, and we don't know what, in real life it could be a... Good Lord. A quick update on that TV. I've seen the TV ad. You have too for ROCO/20. Row code /20. It's that thing where you've seen the guy putting a tube, sticking it in his stomach for 20 seconds. And you can also stick it in your leg. I looked it up. It was kind of hard to find information because they want you to know what it is, but they don't actually tell you how it works or what it does. They say you can lose 20% of your body weight. And then they add with diet and exercise. 20% of your body weight. If you weigh 200 pounds, all of a sudden you'll go to 160? That's a hell of a reduction. That's 20% of your body weight. 40 pounds out of 200 is 20% of your body weight. You go from 200 to 160? Well, that's what I did when I had my teeth thing. Last year, it's exactly what happened. Anyway, but you can put it either in your stomach or your leg, wherever there's fat. It has to be fat in where you stick this needle thing. And they use this ROCO 20 for weight loss, to improve your sex life, for hair loss, and for making yourself have better skin. It costs $145 a month, I think. That was one of the prices I found.
A month?
A month. For the medicine.
You gotta keep doing it.
I guess. And it's for it's for your sex life, hair loss, and weight. And I mean, here again, it's like pretty soon, you put a pill in a machine and you get your dinner or whatever. I mean, it's just, it's all going to be, have things to stick in you to change your body. We're here. Oh my God, we're here. 546. Flounder's Funny's coming up, and wrapping up things here on your happy Monday with the Kipper, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. 404-741-1230 if you want to be our last callers.
Hey, it's Rhino from The Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
Did you see they're making a new Looney Tunes movie?
I did. I just remember how bad Space Jam 2 was. You think they're going to get this right?
This one isn't live action mix. It's just the animation.
How woke is it?
I'm sure very up.
Is the entire story that time that Bugs Bunny put lipstick on to trick someone?
That's
and now
episode.
He's a trans bunny?
Fooled you.
Yeah.
Fooled you. I'm a trans bunny.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Don't miss a minute of the action this season as Georgia Tech men's basketball takes the court in the Camas Pavilion in Midtown Atlanta.
Into the lane, fadeaway jumper, he knocks it down, and a foul.
Secure your seat in the Thriller Dome to watch head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets take on top-ranked opponents all season long.
Dives down the lane, shoots the scoop, and he scores!
Get your tickets today at RamblinRack.com. Sting 'em.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Yikes. I'm here. Everything's fine. Da-da-da. This is the band. The band's playing. Oh, my God. I haven't heard this song in 30 years.
Where I can lay my head.
Or more.
Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed?
1968.
He just grinned and shook my hand. No was all he said. Take a load off, Fanny. Take a load for free.
Take a load, all right. The band released their debut album. Yeah. That's the strangest song. I remember liking the song when I heard it the first time. Music from Big Pink. Their debut album featured their first hit single, The Weight. Recorded in New York and Los Angeles, 1968, followed their backing of Bob Dylan on his 1966 tour, The Band. Our birthday list includes Deborah Harry, Blondie, 79 years old. How is it possible Debbie Harry's Blondie is 79? God almighty. Pamela Anderson birthday today, 57. Wow. Anyway, we got a couple things there. And on this day in history, let's see. The post office came out with their zip code system, still in effect today, 1963. President Eisenhower in 1956 announced the Interstate Highway Act, $50 billion, 13-year project to complete construction of 42,500 miles of linked interstate highways. The 19-cent tax on gasoline per gallon would pay for it. But what an endeavor that was to link the country. Of course, after World War II, everything was expanding because of the automobile, and so they had to link them up. And the
you got the idea from the Autobahn.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. And isn't it a shame they didn't have no speed limit highways for halfway across the country?
we can't handle that.
No, we wouldn't be appropriate for that. Leave that to the Germans. We just can't. Yeah. The PG-13 rating was created in 1984 on this day. The X rating became NC-17. By the way, the first PG-13 movie hit theaters a month later. The first PG-13 movie was Red Dawn. Was that Patrick Swayze?
Yep.
Oh, by the way, hold on a minute. I just realized I threw away a thing on this day, somewhere in here. It's over here. Hold on. Here we go. I just threw it away. I noticed on the thing. It was on this day in. Wait a minute. No, wait, hold on. I got one more.
Tell us what. We're anticipating. We're on the edge of our seats.
I got it here somewhere. Patrick Swayze. I got it here. I promise you, I've got it here. I know. I'm sorry. I know. Oh, here we go. On this day in 1991, Michael Landon died from the sinister pancreatic cancer at the age of 54. And it says here that's the same thing that took Patrick Swayze. What does pancreatic cancer have against guys with glorious mullets? That's what it says on the history. So that's why Patrick Swayze's name came up. And I remember reading that, and when I mentioned Patrick Swayze, oh, God, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm just, I got all this stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing, and everything's fine. Also, a terrible story. Ladies, people, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, a woman named Ashley Stallings, 36 years old, went to work, her 8-year-old daughter in the car. The mother went into the office and came back later to discover her daughter curled up in the car, foaming at the mouth, breathing barely through her mouth. Her mother used a hammer to break open the back window and then drove to a hospital, couldn't get there, asked other people for help. They finally got the little girl, who was 8 years old, from the car, taken her to the hospital. She's dead. She died from the temperature of hypothermia, and the mother says, my God, I left the air conditioning on for her because it was 96 degrees. I left the air conditioning on, and she believes that the girl got too cold in the car and turned it off. And she died, 8 years old. How could heat things affect an 8-year-old girl that she didn't say, boy, I'm going to get out of the car, go see my mom? It's unbelievable. But that's how quick it happened? Where she was just fell asleep. Oh, God. It
takes a few minutes.
And I mentioned, I'm sorry, I just mentioned it to let you know, you can't leave anything, you can't do it, anything involving people staying in your car in the heat. I mean, you just can't.
What do you think happened to those two firefighters, the man and the woman who disappeared in Georgia, and they found their bodies in Tennessee?
Yeah, and it's as far as I know, it's still a mystery. I'm not even. Do they even know how they died or what happened? I don't think there's not much And again, I saw this story, just a glimpse of it, and I don't have any more information on it. I couldn't believe it. Anyway. 554. Pat Tillman's mother says she can't believe that ESPN is giving the Hero Award to Prince Harry. By the way, what's ESPN doing giving awards of heroes for a guy who's British and a former prince because he was a helicopter pilot, but he has now started some kind of a new called the Invictus Games for Paralympic-style wounded injured servicemen, which is good, obviously.
He's part of the elite. Yeah, they just hand each other awards and trophies and jobs.
Pat Tillman's mother, the hero Pat Tillman, joined the military and got killed by his own troops, unfortunately, trying to make up for 9/11. And Pat Tillman's mother says, I can't believe this. The guy's a freaking former prince. He's a big shot. He doesn't need awards. What's he getting awards for? How many? This award are supposed to be for the unsung heroes. That's what it started out as ESPN saying, we want to make sure you understand people are heroes in everyday life and they do special things. And here's one of them right here. And they now give it to Prince Harry. Give me a break. 556. Martina Navratilova is ripping a column on Taylor Swift from Newsweek. Said Taylor Swift's not a good role model. She's unmarried and childless at 34, despite having lots of relationships. The revolving door of relationships may reflect the normal dating experiences of many young women in today's world, but it raises questions about stability, commitment, and even love itself. Should we encourage young girls to see the Swift standard as the norm, something to aspire to? Or should we be promoting something a little more, shall we say, wholesome? Jeez. Martina Navratilova says, give me a break. What a bunch of misogynistic bourgeois. The guy should be ashamed of himself. Martina says this. He writes for Newsweek. They printed it. I mean, this is unbelievable. Talk about sexist. Anyway, you just they're so afraid that she's going to be happy with her new man, and somehow they just can't accept it. That whole thing just makes me freaking crazy. Anyway. Oh, and there's a lawmaker in Minnesota named Marissa Simonetti running for a local Republican office on the county board. She's 30, and she has a OnlyFans account, and she says, well, it's true, she used to be an escort. She says, I've done nothing wrong or ashamed of. When you're a woman with an infant and no money living with domestic violence, you can't just leave. I made a plan to protect my son, and I executed and now hold considerable wealth. I refuse to accept any narrative that shames or blames women for the autonomy they exercise over their own bodies. And it sure beats swiping on Tinder endlessly and having my time wasted by guys who want a free fun time. Well, okay.
She's hot, too.
She's a dish. Marissa Simonetti, 30 years old, with an OnlyFans account. Charged with felony for stealing some money from her former lover, apparently. And she threw a tarantula at a woman who was renting a room in her house and refused to pay her, so she got in a fight and threw a tarantula at her. And she got arrested for, assault and stuff for squatting.
Who doesn't carry a tarantula around for just such an occasion?
Well, you never know when it could happen. Oh, my God. Anyway, by the way, tomorrow we do it all over again, and we may be getting Neil Bortz on some. We're not sure what his travel schedule is, but we'll be getting Neil at some point from points east, west, north, or south. 558, little Nucky's Hoagies, a little Flounder's Funny coming up here with a Kira Pete and Flounder, if we don't mind ending.
I am a liberal. I don't like it. It's not fun. We all know that. It's not fun. It's a full-time job. Conservatives, that must be so easy. You're not learning any pronouns. You're leaving your air conditioning on. You're throwing all your garbage in one hole. I'm out here. I'm like, did the compost go out? Is the compost out? How are the refugees? Are the refugees all right? What's the air quality index today? I remember last year in New York, January 15th, it was 75 degrees. And all of us New Yorkers, all of us liberal New Yorkers, we had to go outside and pretend that was bad. We had to go out on a beautiful January day and be like, this sucks, right? Climate change. I'm in a t-shirt. This is awful. Conservatives are like, Wow, what a beautiful 75-degree Martin Luther King Day. I wasn't going to celebrate, but now I am.
By the way, one more birthday. Remember the singing stewardess on Airplane? Her name, the blonde name is Lorna Patterson. She's 68 years old today. Anyway, it's on the Kimmer. I got to go. You're killing me. With Pete Davis and Flounder and you tomorrow on 106.3. Christine, sing me home, baby. I'm yours.